glorious day for a race today. Leave it all out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. I got a good feeling about today, guys. Do something pretty special today. Green, green, green.
Holy cow! We have the big one to end the race! Oh, we got a giant pack back here. Holy cow.
Here we come. Go, 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 go. Got to be kidding me.
Didn't even make it a lap.
Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Wow, that was dumb.
And hello everybody, welcome to the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. I'm going to be your boy up in the booth tonight, Nathaniel Campbell. Most likely going to be joined by Bill Martin here in a little bit, but he is not present at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and go through our little pre-race here as we got 10 minutes left in our practice session here at the Circuit of the Americas. Looks like a full entry list here tonight, with 40 cars on the entry list tonight. Few last minute changes being made before the session opened up, but 40 cars on the entry list tonight, so we'll see if we have all 40 tonight. Looks like at the moment I am seeing 36 in the session, so just about 4 short with 10 minutes left here in practice to go. You're seeing the scoreboard up top rolling by on the top of your screen, seeing everybody's times that they are setting here in the practice session. But let's go ahead and go through our little pre-race here today. To start off, obviously, weather going to be a huge factor. Last night in the dash race here, we saw tire wear become a big factor on that. Let's go ahead and pull up our weather report real quick, and we'll go ahead and see what it's looking like out on the track. So you see there out there for race settings, it's going to be 75 in the air, 79 at the highest, 8 to 12 miles an hour of wind down facing that east direction. So we're going to have a lot of wind out here tonight pushing these cars around. That might cause a little bit of uneasiness. I think this track is going to be pretty grippy with the partly cloudy conditions, and it definitely being a lot cooler than yesterday's track temperatures, where we saw also a clear sky. So a little bit of cloud coverage here today could play into factor of race pace picking up at some point throughout the night here. Obviously, last year coming to COTA, we saw Noah Nicholson grab the win here. This year, not going to be in the field to defend that win. So, are we going to see somebody else find victory lane here tonight? And I mean, it's obviously going to be true, but up to this point in the season so far, 2 races in, Atlanta and Daytona, just prior to this race, we already saw Cody Porter and Dallas Pataska take home wins, both of those guys being rookies. Are we going to see another guy, maybe a veteran, come in this week and take home a win? We'll have to see. Dallas Pataska currently at the top of the board right now in practice, fastest time being a 1:35.13. So he's looking pretty good out there. Before qualifying kicks off here, we're going to go ahead and kick it over to our Daytona 500 winner in Cody Porter, and last week's second place finisher actually as well. So he's having a very strong start to his season. We'll kick it over to Cody Porter and see what he has to say as he takes us around a lap here at the Circuit of Americas.
Here we go into the third race of Major's Garage Cup Series for the Crown Jewel Racing League at Circuit of the Americas, a very fun but also very hard track. As we round the very slow speed turn 20 and blast down the front stretch, we will get up to the gears, up to 4th, maybe 5th gear, and hard to the brakes in turn 1. Finding a good braking point is key for long run speed here. This corner is very tricky. It's all about getting your exit speed down to set yourself up for the S's, so making sure you don't overdrive entry as turn 1 is super important. As we round this corner and we shoot down to the S's, it's super important to keep as close to the yellow turtles as possible without hitting them, as touching them will upset the car, potentially give yourself damage, and that will make for a very rough rest of the stage. As you round turn 6 into the tight left-hander, you want to keep the car as straight as possible to the short chute, almost straight lining it between the two curbs on each side, but at the same time harden the brakes to get it wound up for the sharp left-hander to get onto what was the longest straight of the whole configuration. They're quickly up to the gears, and then quickly back on the brakes, dropping into low gear as you enter into the stadium section. From this point forward, they're quickly loading and unloading the rear tires with the right and left-handers. It can easily upset the car, so with that in mind, you have to be careful at applying not only brake pressure, but throttle input, so any simple mistake can lead to a spin, or allowing someone to get inside of you, especially in turn 15. As you round turn 15 and head out of the stadium section, you enter turn 16 in a very long sweeping right-hander. It's very easy to lose time here if you don't have a good handling car, or if you don't hit the right line. Properly hitting the sweeping section allows you to enter turn 19 very aggressively, almost essentially cutting the curb and pushing out to the far right track bounds. From here, you're very hard on the throttle to turn 20, hard back on the brakes. You're going to try to get as much curb as possible, and back into the throttle as soon as possible to get a good run down the long stretch once again. And that is a lap around Circuit of the Americas. Enjoy the race.
So back at the track here, and Bill has actually joined us up in the booth. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing very good, doing very good. I got to turn you up real quick. And
Excited for tonight. Last night's race was pretty good. I loved it. Real hard battling in the front. Saw a lot of good sportsmanship from a lot of the guys that struggled, and all around was just a really good race for the guys.
yeah, I had a lot of fun out there, especially with it being even a slick track as it was yesterday. It was super hot and super slick, so the cars definitely weren't gonna kind of like the handling out there for sure. But the race was super fun. I had a lot of fun out there, and I honestly surprised myself with the pace that I had. But I think tonight it's going to be very interesting to see with a little bit of cloud coverage. We kind of went over the weather report. I'll actually pull it up again real quick so you can see it. But you see a little bit of partly cloudy, 75 to 79 with a good chunk of wind coming from the east here, actually. So the wind might cause a little bit of problems, but other than that, it's looking like a very nice day for racing here in COTA.
Yeah, last night I believe the temperature was around 78 degrees. So the temperature really isn't gonna be different from last night, but it's that wind that kind of makes a little bit of a difference. That 8 to 12 mile an hour wind that could affect a bunch of things, and the fact that it's going to be partly cloudy. If it's cloudy at one end of the track, the cars are going to handle differently at that end compared to the other end because the track is going to be cooler. So it'll be interesting to see how the weather plays into this race, if it plays into the race at all.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of these guys really have put a lot of practice down this week heading into this race. So I think it's going to be something of a show for sure. But real quick before we kick off qualifying, since it will be an open session, we released a video on our YouTube channel last night, our first Radioactive. We're going to go ahead and play that for you guys on the broadcast, and we'll be back for qualifying here once we return. All right, I'm going to deafen real quick, and then we'll come back. Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway for live coverage of the Am Better Health 350.
Tonight's race is going to be very fast. When there are wrecks, they're probably going to be pretty big. Right there is the trouble spot, that little quad oval. Coming through, green flag. As we go, that outside line starting to take a little bit of a jump.
Wreck. What the f was that checkup?
Hey Nathan, you're completely fine by the way. Keep pushing me all you want, buddy.
Sir, yes, sir. It's got a little hot right there. I had to back up a little bit.
And coming to the
Look
line,
at him.
Dallas
Wow.
Pataska going to take home stage 1. It looks like the battle between Vasquez and Stoltz was that last spot for stage 1 here.
Did I get it?
Hell no, you didn't get it.
At the end of stage 1 here, I believe we're going to see some pit stops as we see the field coming down pit road here.
Josh, what the f*** are you doing?
Waiting for you to get in front of me.
You realize there's a pit speed limit that we went over?
Yeah, and there isn't really a limit on here. It's pacing. Nobody in front of me was down to pacing yet. I was just following what everybody in front of me was doing, so don't get on me. 135 on this one, right?
Next stage is 135.
So just trying to sort it out, it seems, as they get underway here in stage 2.
That don't help when you drop back 5 car lengths. If you want to get the 81 out of my so you stop trying to turn me, then maybe I can push you.
You can't hold a straight line.
Yeah, I can't hold a straight line when you're f***ing turning me sideways. No sh**.
Those Cheeto numbered I swear.
Not on corner exit. 10-4.
These top 4, oh boy, that's a big slide for Garth Griswold there.
F*** off, Hamilton.
Learn how to hold a line, 51.
I'm way ahead of you, bud, so...
I'm going to lose the draft.
Hoffner tries to kind of clear himself there last second and gets sent down into the wall, back up the track. That was definitely the reason for the caution.
Whoever that was, I don't know why you came back up.
And here comes Josh Schultz trying to make a late block, and that's not going to work.
No.
Around they go.
You cannot do that. Oh, no.
Wrecking. Jesus Christ, Lee's pay attention.
Let's say Caleb, they were kind of wrecking.
I was checking up and running off on my base.
He was way sideways on that. Just a little bit too hard. Oh, there it is.
Wrecking. Boyd Hoggan
And
goes
it's
around. Cameron Albertson, Garth Griswold.
Who came in there thinking they were like Superman? I don't know why you go flying into all that smoke.
Does anyone know what the hell a brake pedal is when they're wrecking? I swear to God.
Negative, it seems. Great job, Boyd.
Good job, Corey. Way to suck down on my right rear doing nothing. Shut up.
Toyota for nothing.
You got hung and you're pissed off about it. You got hung because you were making dumb blocks up there. So, be smoother with your inputs, I'll push you. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. That's why.
I was literally controlling both lanes perfectly fine, but whatever. We weren't in danger once when I was in front of the pack. I see how it is, though. Good luck the rest of the season, buddy.
I don't really care whether you see it or not. Go back and look at a replay. I got ran completely up into you. We were going to be fine.
This is where you learn. Thomas Wolfe going to have to choose where he goes. He tries to go 3 wide middle.
Man.
And what a battle there to the stage. I believe it was going to be Cody Porter.
Stop it, Nick! I forgot I'm pushing parachutes. My bad. Like, I'm inside them. Where can I go? We're fighting for 20th. There's no stage points back here. What the f*** was that, Ray? Swear to God, we can't even drive on the straightaways. That's f***ing embarrassing.
The hole closed faster than I was ready. That's my bad.
I mean, we were side by side when you hit me. I mean, you weren't close at all. Like, come on.
Goal in front of Thomas
Oh.
Filano. No caution for that.
What are you doing, dude? This is a f***ing joke.
Phillips still stuck on the outside. Oh, and they're net
Oh,
coding.
no, there it is. Oh. Oh, no, that's going to be huge.
Can I ask why we're side drafting a lead pack?
Brakes, you stupid idiots! Brakes!
Side drafting us with 25.
He goes to the outside. Dallas Pataska side by side. Cody Porter. And to the line. It's close. It says Pataska, but it looked like Cody Porter.
I thought it was Porter. 0.01 second difference.
Good win, Dallas.
Good win, Dallas. Good job, man.
Dallas Pataska gonna find himself in victory lane tonight. What a finish. So we'll see you guys next week at Austin. It's been the boys up in the booth, Nathaniel Campbell and Bill Martin, and we'll see y'all next week. And as we head back to the track here in Austin, welcome back, everyone. Qualifying is underway.
Together?
That was me.
That was awesome.
That was yours truly.
Thank you. That was awesome. I was cracking up over here. Oh boy, I don't know how much work that was. I'm gonna assume it was hard. How'd you get the recordings and everything? That was unbelievable.
Well, luckily, as you state pretty much every week on these broadcasts, with iRacing being a very intuitive and innovative software, you kind of have the options to go back into these replays, and it lets you record audio and just other things like that. And I was like, why not throw together one of those? And hopefully we'll have one of those pretty much every week throughout the rest of the season for the Cup Series. And I think it's going to add a lot to the production quality of the broadcasts, and also just one of those things for the community to kind of have as a fun thing.
I loved it. Congratulations. That was really impressive. And oh man, I'm all excited. That was. Do I dare ask how many hours you had to put into that?
It wasn't too bad, honestly. I would say maybe a good 6 hours in total, which isn't too bad on a video kind of like that.
That's impressive. That was pretty neat. I loved it.
I had fun
I think
going back and
after
getting those clips for sure.
I think after tonight's race, you're going to have a lot more footage to be able to do that. So there's going to be a lot of bumping and grinding. We saw some last night, and we saw some guys really impress, a lot of people. There are a lot of guys that you didn't expect to see out front that had a top 10 finish last night. And, you could see how guys who were struggling at the beginning of the race, some guys gained 4 seconds between their qualifying time and their fastest time on the track. So I think practice, that's pretty good. So
yeah, that's true. And I think also you can see it on the left side of your screen actually right now, but filling in for Hayden Higginbotham tonight, a little bit of news, is going to be Nathan Fuller, last night's winner. So look out for him tonight. He will have to have a EOL to start this race, so starting in the back. But definitely look out for him near the second stage or that final stage here tonight. Another fill-in driver actually going to be in the 23 for Cody Leach. It's going to be Boyd Hoggan. So we'll see what he can do out on this road course, and for that WRL team, see if he can get that 23 into victory lane and put that 23 into the Constructors Championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited for this race because last night those two duked it out for a bunch of laps together. Both of them are extremely fast. And then you throw Pataska and Wolfe into the circle, plus a few other guys, and it's going to be a great night. The guys last night were extremely impressive. They were, you could see how talented they were, how they were cutting the corners, and just the rhythms that they had. It was super impressive. But one thing I did see a lot of last night is guys cutting these chicanes just a little bit too tight, and they were hitting those big yellow obstructions and sending the car airborne.
Yeah, and that is kind of amplified with these Cup cars, honestly. If you watch the way that they ramp off those sausage curbs in the S's, you'll see a big launch out of them compared to the Xfinity cars, honestly. I don't know why, what really causes that. Maybe it's the underbody of the Cup car. But yeah, they just are really affected by that. And then there's also a chance that you get damage from hitting those if you hit it at either too much speed or just the wrong angle. So that's definitely something to look out for.
Look at Thomas Wolfe in that profile picture giving us the old Magnum pose there. Man, it must be nice having all that hair. But you see, Tommy, he's talented on the road course. He's talented everywhere. He's pretty fast. So he knows what he's doing. As you can see, his line is a little bit different than some of the cars that we were on board with earlier. Some of the guys that were struggling, you could see their rhythm was off through the corners, where Tom just kind of came in and just floated really nice and gently right through the whole thing. So this track is very fast, and there's a lot of places where you can't pass, especially when you come up on lap traffic. So it's very thin. It's going to be tight, and there's going to be some tempers at the end of this.
Yeah, and we're looking at on board with Boyd Hoggan here, the fill-in driver for Cody Leach in that 23. Currently in third right now in qualifying, as we got about 7 minutes left on the clock. Excuse the little errors on the timing scoreboard. It kind of just messes up whenever we go to these road courses and the qualifying sessions, just because it's open time and not set off laps. But that'll get fixed up whenever we get racing here. But looking at Hoggan here as he exits the penultimate corner, head into turns 20 here. Gotta get that late exit.
He was very fast last night. Yep.
Gets a good straight. Looking to improve that time. He does. Actually moves up to second there on the board. Passes Thomas Wolfe. 136.02 there.
Extremely fast. Some of these guys are super, super talented on the road courses, and that first corner that we just saw at the top of the hill, that was trouble for a couple of drivers last night. They'd come over the top of the hill and late on braking, and it seems as if their car would kind of skip up and overshoot the whole entire corner. These cars are a lot different. These cars handle better than the cars from last night, and I think that's going to be a faster situation for those guys that were here. I think with the cars last night, if they were that fast, they're going to be able to translate that over into tonight, and they have plenty of practice, and this is going to be an exciting race. I'm really pumped for this.
And I honestly believe that we'll see a lot faster times as well, just being put down throughout the entire race tonight, because the Xfinity cars last night, with the way that the track was just kind of slick and just less grip out there, it really wore the tires out, and you saw a lot of fall off going on. So you guys kind of see times of like 142s and kind of 141s, just a little bit further back from what you would kind of expect from, maybe a first or second lap on the run, where they're in the 139s or a little bit lower than that. But in the Cup Series here, obviously you're seeing 135s here for that top time by Dallas Pataska.
Pataska is flying. I mean, the top three. I can't explain how incredibly fast that is. It's so difficult on this track, and you're a lot better at road courses and things like that than I am. And I have spent hours trying, and there's just something about a road course. I just cannot get how to do it. So it blows my mind how fast these guys are on this track. And the other thing, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't like road courses until last night. I was not looking forward to this week at all, because I didn't want to do this race. But last night's race kind of swung me over to the road course side, because the racing was great last night.
Yeah, and I think this track has a unique feel to it, where you kind of go to, I think we'll see 6 road courses, if I'm not mistaken, on this year's schedule. But this one definitely has that unique feeling to it, just because the corners are all very fast coming at you.
Yep.
And it just has that very tight battling, and the low speed, middle speed corners kind of makes for interesting racing with these Cup cars. You'll see other types of racing here in real life with GT3, possibly also F1 comes here. And I don't think those races are honestly as entertaining. Maybe the GT3s probably have pretty good shows. I haven't really watched a GT3 race here, but you'll see kind of F1 races kind of string out. But NASCAR, they can keep it very close together for sure. And we'll see a lot of guys just maybe 3-4 wide into turn 1 here tonight off that first restart.
Yeah, last night we had the under-over in the chat to see if they would make it, and they did. So who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us again tonight. Another thing about this track is it wasn't designed for stock cars. It was designed for Formula One.
It was.
So that's why you have these fast corners, and now you bring these cars out here, and it's a completely different animal than an open wheel car. Obviously, the weights are it's twice their weight. The same horsepower, and except for the Formula One, but to be able to maneuver these cars and just I wish everybody could iRace for a day to try it out so they understood how difficult this was.
Yeah, and we're looking on board of somebody that had a pretty good drive through the field last night. Cameron Albertson filled in for Jay Salmon in that 76, and looking to have his actual points day. A lot of practice last night, looking to transfer that over to today. Currently sitting in 12th, it looks like. So not a bad spot for him. He also did have to start EOL, so all the way from the back, drove up, I believe, 20 spots. A great night last night.
And Cameron, if you ever go out wild hog hunting and you need somebody, just give me a holler. More than happy to come down to Georgia for that. Oh man, I'm. If you can't tell, I am really fired up for tonight.
Ooh, big slide there from Joe Wright.
Hey, Joe Wright there. Be interested to see how Joe does tonight. He's down there right now in 18th position. Now, we saw last night a bunch of guys kind of jump the stages and everything and pit a little bit early to gain some track position. So we'll probably see that again tonight. But in the end, it was just the guys who were fast. And, two of them were in that top three. Pataska wasn't there last night. So I know Fuller was another guy who was really fast last night. So throw in the fact Wolfe, Saunders, Carlisle. I mean, Carlisle, everywhere we go, he's been fast. Throw in Corey Porter. This top 10 right now is stacked with some ringers. And then even when you look a little bit further back, all the way back to 15th, 16th place, you have a lot of decent road course racers.
We got guys like Xander Short back here, who is in all the way back in 14th right now in qualifying. We got 10 seconds left, so these guys will get, I believe, one more lap if they can get to a certain part of the track. I don't know if these guys will actually get one more, but Short will be able to complete this lap that he's on right now.
Yep.
Oh, he's a little deep into turn 20 there. Did get a good straight exit.
He did, carried that momentum even though he was a little bit wide.
Does not
Well,
improve
seemed like
on
he
his
was a
time,
little
though,
bit, yep.
unfortunately. So we'll see if we can find anybody still out on track that is running a lap. Whoa, Nick Vasquez having a little bit of fun. Looks like Ray Gale just finished one of his laps. He moves up to 27th there. Tim Silva on track. I believe he is running a lap right now. Does have a little bit of damage on that front end. I don't know if that's hindering his speed right now on that 51.
Now, if you're not familiar with road courses, here's how they work. There's hardly ever a full course caution. So they may have a couple of cars tangle and go off into the corners, and everybody just keeps going. So you're able to pick up positions if you're close enough to the action. But you're not going to catch any lucky dogs. If you do, it's only going to be during the stages, which are lap 20, lap 40, and lap 80, and then the end of the race, correct?
Yeah, so we have 20, 40, 80 tonight. So
Yep.
drivers will have 20 in stage 1, 20 in stage 2, and then a very long 40-lap final stage. So I think that last stage definitely going to be a very interesting thing to watch for strategy for sure there. I think the strategy to put yourself in a good spot to win this race tonight is going to be short pitting stage 2, probably running long stage 1 and then pitting after the caution comes out. But stage 2 definitely going to be that one that you want to short pit if you want to try to put yourself in a race winning position.
Now, as far as that long stage 3, are you going to wait longer than halfway to get tires, or are you going to come in earlier?
I think you kind of want to split it down the middle 20 and make it like the first 2 stages as well, and just have the race be in 4 different 20-lap segments, basically. That's how I kind of look at it when going to these types of races. You want to make sure your tires are basically the same for every single run, and you don't really want to go too far out from what you're used to, or else you'll kind of just start losing pace and losing track of what you're kind of doing out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one thing that's great about this track is if you have a mishap and you have some damage, this track is so huge that you can really get some damage fixed, and especially during a caution, a stage break. So survival, you usually have a lot of cars finishing on the lead lap here. So hopefully tonight we won't have a lot of cautions, but looks like we just got our qualifying all finished. So why don't you read it off for us, bud?
Yeah, real quick before we go, that actually we'll look at the points before we go through the grid, as I kind of want to wait for everybody to get lined up.
Oh,
but
oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was the
you're
lineup.
good.
Is the points?
You're good. You're good. But yeah, we see Dallas Pataska right now on top of the board. He's got 106. Cody Porter following close behind with 97. Those are our first 2 winners of this season, so looking to continue their hot streak. And they're kind of pulling away from everybody else. Nick Vasquez has 82, but other than that, everybody behind him has 70 points or less, basically, or under 70 points. So I mean, that's going to be a huge thing tonight. Are these guys going to be looking for stage points, or are these guys going to be looking for a better finish at the end of this race? Some big names, I would say, that are a little bit further down. You see Hayden Higginbotham, one of the rookies. He's actually not going to be racing tonight in 18th, so he'll be losing a few spots there. Other than
see a lot of the new guys up in the front there. I noticed Greisnick was one guy that he's had a couple of incidents this year where, he got involved in something that wasn't his fault or anyway, just other people's problems, and he's been able to get a decent finish. So I think we're going to see a lot more of him by the end of the year.
Yeah, and it looks like we have pretty much majority of the field gridded up here, and they'll be going through their race control pre-race information. But let's go ahead and go through our driver lineup. We'll see Dallas Pataska on pole here tonight with a 135.271. Boyd Hoggan is going to go P2. You'll see Thomas Wolfe in third with Zack Saunders, who is outside. That's going to be another dangerous driver to watch for sure, Zack Saunders.
Yep.
We know he's very good at these road courses.
Yes, he is.
Just behind them, you'll see Stephen Carlisle with a very good qualifying time in fifth. To his outside, last night's winner, Nathan Fuller. So another strong row behind them in row 3 as well. We know Carlisle did, actually I know personally Carlisle did very well at the street race last year. I know he didn't win it, but he was running in front of me pretty much the entire time, and I couldn't catch him. So he's definitely a good racer.
Very fast everywhere we go.
Yeah, and then just behind them you see Cody Porter, Noah Hamilton in that 4th row, and then 5th row you'll see Stewart Harding Walker and Cameron Albertson round out the top 10 here tonight. Nichelle Condor, Zach Johnson in row 6 there, just behind them. Following that, you'll see Ben Lawson, a Factory Motorsports entry, and Pete Morales to his outside. Xander Short and Corey Mott going to be making row 8, followed up by Logan Geisbrecht, one of those rookies, followed by another rookie, John Connor, to his outside. So a row of rookies right there. Just behind them in row 10, you'll see Rodney Roberts filling in. Actually, he's an open car tonight in the 12 car. And Joe Wright in 20th to his outside. 21st going to be Garth Griswold. And 22nd, Nick Vasquez to his outside. Garth had a field day in the chat last night, I know that. Looking to see if he could have a field day out on the track.
Garth had me in stitches last night.
We'll get into that a little bit later into the broadcast. But continuing through the field, we'll see Caleb Tipton and Alan Phillips to his outside. That's row 12. Just behind them, we're going to see, it looks like, Henry Kalhoff filling in for Michael Deitch with Ray Gill in 28th. Actually, some of these guys are going to have EOLs as well, so we got to remember that. Mason Hoffner going to be 29th with Noah Spalding to his outside in row 15. Just behind them, Tommy Carroll and Nim Silva, followed up by Jonathan Lager, Stephen Menke. I don't believe he put it down a lap, actually. I'm not seeing a plus time, so Menke decided to not put laps down in qualifying. James Nesta just behind them, that number 20 back row bandit entry, side by side with Joe Gibbons in 36, filling in for the 16 this week. Jim Mott and Thomas Filano going to be just behind them. And then on that last row, it says it's Vince Mitchell, but I believe he's having power problems right now, so I don't know if he's in the session at the moment.
I heard a couple of guys talking about a big storm, so I don't know if he's one of those guys being affected by that right now or not.
I believe that Hayden is definitely one of those guys that's been affected. That's why he's not racing tonight. It's definitely been a very crazy few days in the south and the east of the United States here, so I can definitely understand that for sure.
Well, pace car just turned in. Take us to the green flag, buddy.
Yeah, we're out of turn 20 here. These leaders will have a... actually, on this first start, we got to wait till Barney throws that flag, so it might be a little bit here. But after this, on our next restarts, we'll see the leader be able to choose whenever once they get out of that corner. Looks like Barney's waving that flag. Green flag is out. Pataska gets on that gas pedal, and we're going here in Circuit of the Americas.
Like we've seen the last couple of weeks, the 23 chasing the 17 and vice versa. And we've got big problems towards the back there. Hopefully they can get it straightened out and keep going. So far, everything's still under green flag. I think they got it straightened out. See these guys snaking through 2 and 3 wide towards the back as they come to the chicanes. You see those giant yellow markers right there. Those are those bumps that I was telling you about that'll upset the cars. Now you see that 17 car just accelerating and kind of pull it away, bud. I mean, the 23 is hanging with him, but it looks like the 17's got the edge right now.
He is. Pataska has a good jump here on the field. Looks like Hoggan follows in on second, Thomas Wolfe third, and then Zack Saunders fourth with Cody Porter up to fifth now, moved up 2 spots off that start. Looks like we're getting a lot of guys having problems here. Noah Spalding off track in the back.
The 24 car there, he got offline somewhere. I didn't see what happened there.
Looks like we're having problems with the overlay like we were last night at the start of the race. Really does not like coming to road courses.
But I'm telling you what, some of these guys really getting bounced around quite a bit. You see them going too wide through the corners. That's never a good thing. You know, they always end up banging doors because as you go through the corners, you're going opposite directions. So you end up one corner he's on the inside, the next corner he's on the outside. So bumping and grinding going on throughout this field, except for that top 20. It looks like, well, the top 15 anyways, they've got pretty much everybody front to back right now.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's really going on with the tickers right now. I'm trying to figure it out, but clean out front right now. The top 4 have broken away from everybody else, it seems. Zack Saunders right now, that last one. Cody Porter kind of in a no man's land. You see Carlisle working in behind him. You got Noah Hamilton and a few other guys. Looks like Tipton Harding Motorsports just behind them. You see Harding Walker and then Pete Morales.
Well, Harding Walker was one of those drivers who was very fast last night.
Stephen Menke, I just had a problem. It looks like, oh, guys break off track in the S's. Looks like he just had a slowdown. We're getting a lot of things going on the track. It's kind of hard to actually go back to it as I'm trying to fix the scoreboard.
These guys are look at the 6 there of Maggie. He just kind of slid right up the inside on those guys. Whoa! Let's see, one guy headed the wrong way. Didn't quite get to see who that was. There's so many things happening in the 19. Whoa, 51 almost goes into the back of the 19. Things happen so fast here.
They are fully cleared of pretty much all that mess. And almost like nothing is working in my software right now. Not even my keybinds are working. So I think it has just fully broke. Sorry about those technical difficulties to start here. We'll see if it can hopefully come back up and work the right way, but right now Pataska is leading. Boyd Hoggan, Thomas Wolfe, Zack Saunders, Cody Porter is that top 5. Going a little bit further back here, Zach Johnson following Ben Lawson here.
Zach looking pretty good in the early stages. His times have improved quite a bit since the first couple of laps. Now he has a little bit more air pressure. But up front, you just see Pataska starting to pull away a little bit. That top 5 is just kind of floating away from the rest of the pack. And back here, this is what you end up seeing, a bunch of cars just trying to hang on to it. And that big rumble strip doesn't seem to upset the cars on that certain section of the track. Is that raised up as they are in the corners, or is that just kind of smooth?
Pretty much the only parts that really have those dangerous curves are going to be the S's for sure. There are maybe a few other corners that have curves that you don't want to really fully attack like all the other ones that you kind of see, but definitely the dangerous ones are in the S's for sure. Those are the ones that you really do not want to hit.
These guys are just making it look so easy out front.
There we go. Now the software is working back up and we're running here on lap 4.
There we go. That's right. We've only been going on lap 4. That's how large this track is. As the race goes on, you're going to see the rubber build up during the corners, and sometimes it gets a little more slick than it is right now. So guys, you'll see them stretch that corner piece way further out. They really do everything they can to keep up the momentum. As you see here, the one going by the 95 made it look easy.
Yeah, we'll see them coming into the S's here as they are doing battle. Watch out for those curbs there. You see them on the track. Bright yellow. Do not want to hit them.
No, you certainly don't.
We'll take off like Southwest Airlines. You see Nick Vasquez passing by there. And the software just broke again. It's always nice. I have no idea really what's going on with it. Apologies once again.
There's the one car kind of making its way through those corners, and it's hard after you make a pass and you have to let off when you're being passed in an area and you have to let off the throttle, because at some point you have to give to let the other car by. And trying to pick up that momentum that you let go when you hit the brake, it's so difficult to gather back up, especially at a track like this. It takes almost a half a lap, even sometimes a full lap, to get your rhythm back to where it should be. Out front, though, you're still seeing Pataska and Hoggan, and Pataska's starting to stretch it out to almost 2.5 seconds now.
Incident in the back. Noah Spalding's around in the start of the stadium section. He's got a lot of damage on that rear end. Not having a good start to this race. Currently scored back in 35th right now.
And I believe that's the second time that we've seen him go off track. And there's one car going way out of line.
Wide in turn 1 is Nishil Condor. He's got some damage on that left side as well. I do want to try to maybe at the end of stage 1 here go back to the first lap and see what we can kind of figure out what happened since we were having all those problems. But definitely want to go back to that and see what happened, because there's a lot of shakeups going on. Nick Basden, one of the open cars, up 10 spots right now, up to 16th, having a good race at the start here. But like I was saying, a lot of guys are jumping up and down, like Xander Schwartz down 14 spots. Logan Geisbrecht down 14 spots as well.
Geisbrecht, we know, had some issues. Yeah. But you know what? There's plenty of time. It's only lap 5. It's a huge track. You know you're going to have a caution coming up. It may be a little bit, but at least if you survive there, you're going to catch right back up to the...
Xander Schwartz gets into Mason Hoffner. I don't know if that was a little payback or something, but he kept driving into that 30 car as they were wrecking, so it was looking close, yeah. But he might not be happy after that.
Yeah, who's in race control tonight?
It should be Sam Bennett, I believe.
Well, I think... Yeah, you know, you don't want to do that with the cameras on you.
battle for second starting to pick up here between Wolfe and Hoggan. This time Hoggan did not have to qualify in on speed. He is in a chartered entry this week. Not in that 96 that we've seen him in these first two weeks of the season, I should say. A lot of stuff going on. It's making me mess up my words too.
Hoggan extremely strong last night. We saw the 23 chasing the 17, so definitely somebody with a lot of experience on road courses, extremely quick. And right there you see Wolfe trying to make a move on the inside, pushes the 23 wide, but Wolfe just didn't have the momentum in the 94.
I would say that is one of those passing zones you can be very aggressive in, and it will work. And we're coming up to another one right here after the exit of this corner, so we'll see if Wolfe can line up a run here to get past this 23 for second. Didn't have the exit there that you needed.
I may be outdating myself, but you know how I love giving people nicknames?
I do.
Well, Thomas Wolfe to me reminds me of Chachi from way back on Happy Days, so I think we just earned Thomas Wolfe the nickname Chachi.
There we go, Thomas Wolfe getting a new nickname. It's like Oprah, you get one, everybody gets one. Gotta always bring those references in, you know?
Let's see what the chat thinks about that one. Pataska starting to spread that lead out just a tiny bit out front, but Hoggan's got his hands full trying to get away from Wolfe right now.
He does. That battle for a second, as Hoggan actually is going to pull away. He looks like just got either a slowdown or just let Thomas Wolfe by there. Did not want to feel that pressure.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was a slowdown because he really just kind of let off the gas right there.
Zack Saunders staying clean in fourth right now. We know last night's unfortunate circumstances for that driver. Looking to possibly win this thing tonight, though, and show what he's got.
Yeah, poor Zach was out front last night, running very well. Tried to pull him up in the booth, and it kicked him out of the race session. So, heartbreaker for him.
Yeah, he said that was a known problem to him, but it hasn't happened to him in about 2 years, so very unfortunate circumstances there for that 60 car last night. Definitely had a shot to win, and just got stuck 2 laps down after that disconnect, and only able to get 1 lap back on these road courses definitely hurts you.
Well, maybe Carmen will come back for him tonight, because right now he's doing pretty well, running some very solid laps, very consistent at this point. And again, you know, he may be almost 6 seconds back from the leader, Pataska, but there's going to be cautions. He's in a good position where he's going to get points. So
we'll have guaranteed 2 cautions. So
yeah, so he's in a great position right now, right where he is.
Looking at the battle now for 5th between Porter and Carlisle. Carlisle's starting to put a little pressure here on Cody Porter now. Looking to put himself into the top 5.
One thing I would love to do is find out what all these guys race on, what their setups are. And some guys are going to have very expensive full motion iRacing cockpits and setup for their house, and other guys are just going to have a steering wheel on a desk. And half the time, the guys with the steering wheel on the desk are faster than everybody. So I'd really like to know what the different rigs that these guys have.
Going a little further back here, we see Ben Lawson putting the pressure now on Stewart, Harding, Walker. Walker had a good run last night.
Yeah, Ben Lawson ran very strong last night as well.
Lawson
and it
did as
seems
well,
as if he's doing the same, yeah. So he seems to come back this year with kind of an attitude. He's been running up front everywhere we go and is looking very strong this year.
Yeah, I think last year he had a lot of the short run speed for sure. I think the only downfall that he had, just he couldn't keep that speed up through the long run, and it kind of affected his long runs whenever we got those long runs. So I think if we see improvement out of that for sure, he's definitely going to be a huge contender for some of these races this season.
No doubt. If you look now back if you look at that top 10, you have Pataska, Wolfe, Hoggan, Saunders, Porter, Carlisle, Morales. I know it changed over a little bit too fast for me, but I saw Walker is all the way back in 10th spot right now. So I don't know if he was one of those guys that started further in the back and then just kind of snuck his way forward. You know, you see there back in 7th place, Morales. He's having a great run so far tonight. Hamilton's having a great run. Alberton, he's been strong all year. And there's Walker right there in 10th spot. So a stacked and talented top 10 right now.
Yeah, we see Harding Walker has started to break away from Ben Lawson. Albertson locking up the tires, making a send here on Hamilton. He's going to make that pass probably if he can be aggressive here, looking for a switchback possibly. Here comes Harding Walker, though. 3-car battle now for this spot.
Yeah, it seemed as if when he came in and hit the brakes there to not hit and spin the one car, it killed all his momentum, and Walker was able to capitalize on it.
He is now side by side still with that 14 car. 14 now going to clear himself as they get out of that stadium section and into the penultimate corner here. Harding Walker staying close to that bumper, and he might make a move here into 20. Albertson going to cover.
Way wide on that corner, setting up to come on up the hill, up into turn one. Turn one again. We haven't seen anybody go straight just yet, but I'm not going to be surprised if it happens.
I would not be surprised if it has already happened and we've just missed it, to be honest, as well. There's with all these guys going around this track, it's a very big track, 2 miles, or 2.26 miles in this configuration. It definitely has a lot of guys just everywhere on the track, and we'll see that throughout the rest of this night for sure as we continue rolling.
It's a very tricky corner. It's not easy. You're coming uphill, and just as you're getting into the hardest part of your braking area, you're cresting the top, so it kind of drops down on you, and if you lock it up at all, it'll just send you straight. And I know it's done me in more than one occasion, including practice earlier today when I was out there trying, and I'm not even going to talk about what my time was, but it's not just an easy left-hand corner.
Ooh, a lock up there from Hamilton up in front of him. That's going to check up Albertson just a little bit. Harding Walker now looking for a move here on the inside of this double hairpin. Not going to find anything there. Going to settle in behind that 14 still. Great battle right now for, this is 8th. Pete Morales just in front of it as well. Hamilton is starting to catch him.
You know, it's so cool watching somebody who knows what they're doing race. You know what I mean? It's kind of like watching a professional golfer. You know, golf isn't easy. You don't just go out there and swing a club. And when you're watching a professional swing a club, it's like artwork. And that's what it's like watching these guys. You know, this is the top tier racing for Crown Jewel. And these are where the best race car drivers are. And to make these times, again, I tried this track earlier today, and I can promise you, I wouldn't have qualified for this race. It is not an easy track.
Yeah, looking on here at Stephen Mankey, starting to have a little bit of a drive through the field, up 10 spots so far, up to 24th. Just got around Joe Wright here, as he does have a little bit of damage. Oh, Jim Mott stopped on the exit of turn 20. That was a big moment.
Wow.
But
Mankey might need a new seat cover after that one. That was real close.
Yeah, that's going to allow Joe Wright now to go side by side with him into turn 1. I think Joe's going to give him that spot back, though. He will as they get into turn 1. But as I was saying before, that's very scary moments for the 6 car. Yeah, just a little bit of damage on that car. I don't know if he's going to have a lot of car trouble with that. We saw last night Corey Mott blew up late in the race with just a little bit of front-end damage, and we see Mankey does have a little bit of front-end damage as well. So got to watch out for that.
We saw a couple of guys blow up last night. Yeah, it doesn't take much. You're downshifting, and you're revving the engine up, and you're lowering the RPMs, dropping them down, and that's really not good for a race engine built like this. And that's one thing about iRacing. You know, I was talking about how accurate it is. It is accurate with engine blowing too a lot of times, you know, and you get that temperature up, it'll go on you.
Yeah, and while we were looking away at other drivers, Harding Walker did get around Albertson. So now he's going to look for a move here in turn 1 around Hamilton, as Hamilton locked it up, Albertson might have a shot to
Shot
make a spot
two.
here. He is just a little too far away, though. Camera is deceiving.
Yep, and Walker just gained 2 spots in 1 lap.
He did. As they start coming through the S's again, you see that 4-car battle. Morales just in front of him. That's another Tipton Harding Motorsports entry.
Yep.
See Nick Vasquez now, followed by Zach Johnson. A few other guys coming through the field, like looks like that's Nichelle Condor, John Connor. There's Nick Baston, Nathan Fuller, last night's winner, Noah Spalding, Corey Mott, Alan Phillips, Jonathan Lager there. Might as well watch the rest of these guys come through.
See if anybody hits one of those markers so the car flow. Oh, man, those guys
Cutting it
are
close.
flirting with it.
Cutting it
You know, the
very
funny
close.
thing is I was watching last night on the when you have the camera on top of the car, and as guys were going through that area, you can see tire marks on the side of those bumps. So guys are cutting it really close.
Yeah, and something that I thought was really interesting watching the broadcast back last night was seeing how the rubber built up also on the track, and you see where kind of the main line is, and you'll see the track get dark as we continue on throughout the rest of this race. And then also obviously the pellets and the grass with the new iRacing updates.
Yep.
Leaving that dirt on the track is very treacherous going through it, so always got to be careful with that as well. 1 car wide, that's Joe Gibbons there. Getting out of the way of, looks like the lease leaders.
Well, I saw some smoke. I'm not sure if it was him or not, but I thought somebody might be going, over that curb like we've talked about a few times. But, once you lock up your brakes and your tires get into that gray area with all of the dust and everything, you're gone.
Looking on board here, Hamilton trying to make a move on Stewart Harding Walker. Looks to the inside just for a moment. Walker able to stay in front as they start getting through this stadium section. Another interesting thing that COTA has that's kind of unique is just the amount of off-throttle time that you have at this track. A lot of it really isn't gas and brake. It's let your car roll and let the weight kind of transfer around this track.
And that's one thing I am not good at. All of those things that you just talked about, I am not good at. I just want to say that if you look at the slowest time under green this race, I was a few seconds below that. So it definitely not a friendly racetrack.
Definitely not. It's a very fun track once you kind of get it down, but it's definitely one of those tracks that's also really hard to master. So it adds a lot of challenge, I think, to this season, and having it also very early in the season compared to last year. I believe last year was the 7th race of the season. This year now the 3rd race makes it a very interesting start of the schedule with 2 drafting tracks and then a road course right after. Ooh, a little bit of a curb there for Hamilton.
You see the 1 car there hitting that curb as we've talked about. You see how much of this corner here that these guys are cutting off, and it looks like they're going off into the dirt right there. There are certain sections of this track where guys cut it a little bit too much, and they get that penalty where they're penalized for cutting the track.
See a move here by Ben Lawson to the inside. Can he keep that car there? He's going to be to the outside here as they go through this double left. Might look for a switchback.
Lawson looked like he spun the tires a little bit on acceleration.
Does look for a switchback now. Looking to the outside, inside again here through this triple right. Another one of those unique things about COTA, a triple right. You don't see that at many tracks.
Nope.
Very fun battle to watch on here.
Even in front of him, he's starting to get into a little bit of traffic here now as the 19 car gets involved. These guys are going to have to separate them somehow. And right there, the 1 car puts that 19
Ben
car
Lawson
in.
going to go around. Big moment for Ben Lawson. Just, I think, got a little throttle happy there. And big slide for him, goes fully around and falls out of stage points now. Nick Vasquez is going to pass him as well.
It looked like he just got a little bit too excited to jump on the throttle to get around the car in front of him, and you know he might have been able to do it, but he saw the other car get into trouble and just jumped on it too hard. And something that I have done, I don't know how many times now. It is so easy to do, especially in these cars.
Yeah, first gear in this car will shoot your apron. I almost said, I don't even know what I was going to say, apron. I was going to say RPM. It will shoot that RPM way up in first gear if you are not very careful watching the throttle input that you put into it. And it will over-rotate those tires and spin you out. And Lawson's got to be careful here. Those tires definitely still going to be a little hot from that spin. Looks like they are starting to cool down now as he's getting everything settled and trying to pass Vasquez once again.
And once you spin those tires like that on a spin, it's almost like having ice around your tire. It takes such a long time for you to be able to gather it up to get grip in those tires again.
Yeah, and also that wear never comes back. Whatever you lost from spinning, that will never come back to the tire. So it might drive a little funky after you spin.
Well, lucky for him, there's only 4 laps to go until we get to our first stage lap. And right now, it's still the same group of characters out front, Pataska, Wolfe, and Hoggan. And, you know, these guys are starting to run away from everybody a little bit. You know, Pataska's got about a
7-second lead right now.
Yeah, and then it goes back to Hoggan, who's right there with Wolfe, and then it goes all the way back 15 seconds to Saunders.
Yeah, decent gap to these guys. About, say that's 5 seconds between Hoggan and Saunders, and then a really big gap between Porter and Saunders actually for 5th. They're about 30 seconds in front of Cody Porter right now.
Pataska just looking so strong, and we talked to him last week, and he said he was excited for this week. He knew he was going to be strong here, so he called it, and he's doing exactly what he said.
He is, and he's actually going to short pit stage 1 here, coming down pit road.
Yeah, Wolfe got around Hoggan. Wolfe took over 2nd spot right there. I don't know if something happened, but Pataska came into the pits to short shoot it.
So that will give Thomas Wolfe the lead right now. And at the moment, if he stays out, he'll win stage 1 unless Boyd Hoggan has anything to say about it. See Pataska enter his pit stall right there at the very back of your screen. So he'll get his fresh tires and probably save those to the 2nd stage here. He should be the leader once everything resets and everybody comes down pit road.
Now you expect the whole field to come down this time, don't you?
I don't know, honestly. I think it's kind of up to these drivers where they think it's comfortable. It's also the pit road closes 2 laps before the end of the stage, so it's also kind of where the leader is in consideration of where you are. So I think it's a few different factors, and then also if you want stage points. Do you want to stay out and get those stage points in stage 1? Like I said earlier in the broadcast, I think short pitting stage 2 is the one that you want to short pit. So we could be seeing that out of a lot of these guys right now, and might not see a lot of guys coming down pit road here before the end of stage 1.
Well, if Pataska's coming in now, that's pretty much what he's telling us. If you think about it, it's going to be 20 laps, and he's going to be short shooting that 2nd stage, which is exactly what you talked about. So maybe he's doing it right off the bat already.
Looks like Hoggan comes down pit road. Thomas Wolfe will stay out.
Yep, another one. So, interesting play right now by these drivers in the front.
Yeah, I think it'll be split strategies, honestly, especially with how big the gaps are starting to become. Zack Saunders is going to come down pit road as well. I think it's something to do with these road course guys. If they know that they have a big enough lead to come down pit road as well and not really lose that many positions, I think that's something that they're also looking to do throughout the race.
It's all going to pin out for these guys eventually, and I'm interested to see. I kind of hope he gets shuffled back in the back a little bit, because I'd really love to see him come through the field. It would be pretty exciting. But right now you see him already. He's back out on the track, and he's up to the 2nd spot. So a lot of guys are taking in that early route. Now you see Carlisle has moved up to the top 3, and Hoggan is back on the track as well. Walker is now in 5th, and Hamilton, Albertson, Morales, Saunders, and Johnson. Now, Morales has been in that 6th, 7th, and 8th spot pretty much the whole race so far. It's good to see. He's been running pretty strong the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, having his nice start to his rookie season in that 95 Tipton Harding Motorsports entry. So trying to see if anybody else comes down pit road. Right now, only 4 guys have gone down pit road. I believe pit road should be closed right now. So that should be the end of those early pitters here for stage 1. I think Thomas Wolfe might have a choice if he wants to come down pit road here. Looks like he does not, though.
Yep. Now you see Johnson fill up that last spot in the top 10.
Yeah, Zack Saunders just came out of pit road and I think got around Johnson there to move him back to 10th, if I'm not mistaken. But holding on to that last stage point.
I have a feeling you already have enough material to make another another video so far in this first stage. It may be a long video next week.
It might be. We'll see. I think these radios definitely are going to be hot, especially with certain things going on track. If there's lap cars not getting out of the way or people dive bombing in the corners when they shouldn't be. I think it's definitely going to be a interesting radioactive for sure next week.
You see 37 car. Joe's having a tough time tonight. Not as strong as we usually see him. We always see him strong and fast on the ovals, but he seems to be one of the guys struggling a little bit tonight. As the 35 car, I thought I just saw him smoking. No, maybe it was just tire spin.
I think it's just tire smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were talking earlier about somebody blowing up, and I shouldn't have said that. Now we just jinxed him. I'm sorry. That's on me.
This actually is the battle for the lucky dog right now between Villano and Wright. They are both 1 lap down, battling for 25th and that lucky dog free pass.
Now we already see a few drivers out of the race already.
I believe so. It looks like Nim Silva, Jonathan Lager is still out there. It looks like only Nim Silva is out of the race. Vince Mitchell looks like did not make the race as well. Unfortunately, due to those weather problems, I believe.
Yeah, we have up here on Cape Cod, we're starting to get a bit of a storm coming in right now. If you can't hear the wind howling, took the dogs down the beach earlier today, and well, a bunch of seals on the beach, which tells me 2 things. Either there's a big one coming as far as a storm, or there's a great white off the shore that chased them in. So either way, it's not a good time to have 2 dogs on the beach when you have seals everywhere.
Yeah, we saw a big slide there for Hamilton out of turn 20. Able to compose himself and carry on. Right now in 6th place for the stage. Caution should be coming out once I believe they come out of 19. So Thomas Wolfe gonna have the control for that. And he could be looking to put the 69 car lap down, which could soil that battle for the free pass here. Can Caleb Tipton stay in front of Thomas Wolfe?
Doing everything he can to get that position.
Villano fully clear of Joe right now. Ooh, big slide there for Joe in the back. But Thomas Wolfe coming out of that, I'll call it the Whataburger corner. And we'll see the caution fly in here. Looks like Villano trying to make a sin to get that free pass early.
Oh, you see one car, that wasn't the 22 we just saw off the course right there, was it?
No, that's Jonathan Lager right there. 28.
Oh, okay, all right.
He is running the normal 22 paint scheme, however, though, since the 22 is not running that paint scheme this week. I'm sure of how that worked out.
I saw the black paint scheme and I automatically thought it said Ducks Unlimited.
But you see there on the left side of your screen, that is the end of stage 1.
Yep.
Thomas Wolfe, stage winner with Dallas Pataska after pitting up to 2nd. Boyd Hoggan after pitting up to 3rd. So they're going to be looking very strong on the front row here for this restart. Carlisle, Harding Walker in 4th and 5th. Hamilton, Albertson in 6th and 7th. Then you'll see Morales, Saunders, and Johnson round out that top 10, getting those stage points.
Got Wolfe getting those stage points. He's going to be happy to have those.
And a playoff point as well for winning this stage. That's going to be
Yep.
huge when we go into the playoffs later in the season. Obviously, the defending champion wanting to gain as many advantages as he can to try to defend that championship from last season. And I think it starts, obviously, here, early in the season, getting points wherever you can.
Every race, and this year is going to be a very tough points battle. We really have some very talented drivers in the series this year, and the competition level has definitely stepped up. Plus, the Crown Jewel Racing League has just passed a milestone, 600 members so far in the Crown Jewel Racing community. So that's pretty impressive. Congratulations to Corey Mott on that one, and to all the guys who work behind the scenes. Awesome job. It's pretty impressive. One of the bigger leagues that you'll see. So if you want to come join us, we have plenty of opportunities to race, whether it's ARCA, trucks, Xfinity, or the Cup Series. So look us up. Come check it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely welcome anybody with open arms. And we have an ARCA league that's very fun on Sundays. We're actually returning to racing in the ARCA next week at Phoenix Motor Speedway. It's going to be a fun race.
Well, thank God I am in the booth for that race, because I do not get along with Phoenix. I know I say that a lot about the tracks, but I like the old Phoenix, not the new Phoenix.
I think there is points to be made about both Phoenixes and their configurations that iRacing has. I think you can definitely say that you like one or the other for sure. I definitely like each one kind of the same, I would say. But we see pit
It's
stops
a lot of
starting now.
See Wolfe coming in. Wolfe is, I bet you he's smiling underneath that helmet. He knows that he has a fast car. He knows he's fast, and he just got those points. That's going to be huge.
It is.
So we're going to see how some of these guys play this second stage. We're going to see if they're going to short shoot it or if they're going to just go for it in the end. I'm really interested to see how these guys split up that last big chunk of, the 40 laps there, the ending stage to the end of the race. That's going to be a long time on old tires. You're not going to make it on. Are you going to make? I don't think you're going to make it on fuel.
I think the fuel window here is about, I believe it was 35 to 37 laps at COTA, depending on fuel saving and cautions and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
base, I believe, 35 laps. So that last stage, yeah, you definitely have to come down pit road for sure. Which I think that, like I said earlier in the broadcast, splitting it 2020 is probably that best strategy to do. Especially just with the tires as well.
So some guys may think, maybe I'll wait to the end, towards the end of it, and come out with a new, fresh bunch of tires and kind of move your way through the field. But I don't think that's really going to work. I'm with you. I'm going to split it 2020 and just hope for the best.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Problem Causer last night, Thomas Wolfe.
Crashed
out Zack Saunders last night. Hopefully he doesn't crash here.
Hopefully nobody told him my nickname for him.
We'll see, but let's go ahead and drag him up and talk to our Stage 1 winner, Thomas Wolfe. Hey there, Thomas. This is the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you guys.
All right, our Stage 1 winner going to be starting a little bit further back here as some of the guys played a little bit of strategy here in Stage 1. But I wanted to ask you how the car is feeling and what you're looking for throughout this rest of this race to get that 94 into victory lane here tonight.
The car feels good as long as I don't try to match Dallas's speed. Once I start to push that hard, then it starts to be naughty. But yeah, I just wanted to get a stage win under my belt there and realized I would be behind a couple of guys, but Dallas is running really fast. So while I would love to win this race, I just got to be realistic and think about points.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer, honestly. It's a road course being one of those tough tracks. We know you're very good at these road courses, maximizing any points that you can get for sure, especially when you know that you might not have the car to win the race. Definitely a huge thing. Heading into the rest of the season, obviously we get a short track next week. Wanted to ask you kind of what you were looking forward to on the schedule.
Sorry, we're doing choose. So I didn't hear you there. I apologize.
Oh, I was just asking what you were looking forward to upcoming here on the schedule.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I like Phoenix a lot. I don't know. Is Richmond coming up soon? Because I always like driving there too.
I believe Richmond is actually. I think they only have one race this year because of
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So it's later in the season.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, next week Phoenix is always a good time. I like that track a lot. But yeah, pretty much anywhere. It's gonna be nice to get into like the meat of the season, to the mile and a halves and stuff, just because I always find success there too. But yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season.
I'll hand the hot mic over to Bill here, see if he's got anything for you.
Hey, Thomas, I don't know if you heard or not, but Nathan came up with a new nickname for you. Did you hear that or not?
I did not hear it, no.
All right, well, we'll just keep it like that for right now.
You can't do that. That's me.
He's putting it on me.
I told him, hey, leave the poor guy alone, but no, he went with it. No, I'm looking at your picture, and you kind of look like Chachi from the old Happy Days.
Happy Days, yeah. I think that's a compliment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's your new nickname, Chachi.
Nice. I'll take it.
All right,
I have
buddy.
a lot worse names.
Good luck to you, man. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
Yep, hope so. Thanks, guys.
So Thomas Wolfe going to be restarting, looks like it's third on the outside, so that's going to be technically sixth, but he scored seventh here on this restart. So 7 cars did do that strategy of coming down pit road early here in stage 1 and short pitting that first stage. We'll have to see if they're able to stay in front of Thomas Wolfe and a few of these other guys that decided to come down pit road at the end of the stage.
Got to get used to seeing Nick Vasquez in a blue car.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that will be an every week car or if he'll start rotating paint schemes. But it is a nice little fresh twist on that 22 for sure.
Now, does it really matter to you which side you start on?
I think it kind of does here. I think the inside definitely promotes a cleaner restart. It will give you an option to push somebody out instead of being pushed. I think the outside does have its merits as well. You can also make yourself go as wide as possible to avoid all of that and get yourself a really good straight exit. So I think it's kind of up to the driver, but I think the inside is definitely going to be that preferred line for sure.
Well, we're going to see who can make it to the end of this front straightaway as they get the green flag. You see the whole field accelerating, and Dallas jumps up in front of the field, and he just took command. He had a great jump there. And you see the 23 car.
And that's not going to be good for turn 1. Big lockup there into the 17 of Dallas Pataska, and that's a moment that could be race changing for that 17 there. Zack Saunders will come into the lead now. Crazy restart.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but Pataska got the short end of the stick. But
Stewart Harding-Walker turned around in the S's.
Oh boy.
That's at a full speed part of the track as well. Good thing he got away from that.
Man, having him in the back, he can work his way up. He's extremely fast on this road course. We saw him work his way up last night. We saw him do it earlier today. So look forward to seeing that car come back out front. He's a talented driver, and he's got plenty of time. But right now, the battle up front, that 17 car of Pataska.
He recovered nicely.
He did, but I don't think right now would be a good time to interview him because he's probably a little bit hot under the collar. But
I'm sure he's
right
not
now,
too happy, yeah.
He's all over the back of Fuller right now.
We got battles going on all around the track here. We're looking at Stephen Carlisle on a sandwich between Zach Johnson and Pete Morales. Oh, a little bit of a slide there going into 16 and a bigger slide coming out.
There he goes, he loses it.
Oh, slightly into the wall. Got to be careful coming back onto the track here. Gets it rolling good. Pataska's going to try to go around Fuller here. Heading into turn 1, they are teammates technically, as Fuller is a Majors Garage driver full-time in the Dash Series, but filling in for Hayden Higginbotham here tonight. So it looks like Fuller will give him that spot. Might know that Pataska kind of has the better car. So now Pataska going to start hunting down Zack Saunders. It's going to be a battle out front here.
Hopefully Hayden's doing okay with that big storm out there. Out front, Saunders was trying to run away from those two guys battling Fuller and Pataska, but Pataska got around there fairly quick, and it won't be long. He's going to be all over the back of that 60 car because he is hot under the collar. He is just flying right now.
He is, and we see the last times on the track there, but Pataska definitely picking up this time as he got around Fuller. He's going to have a faster lap than Saunders for sure, and he might get around him at one of these passing zones here. It might be right here. We'll see. Ooh, not close enough just yet.
I was talking about sharks earlier. Look at him like a great white shark just stalking his prey right now, getting ready to set him up. Right now, he's just sizing him up, trying to figure out what corner he wants to pass him in, how he's going to set it up. At this time, I'm sure he's already decided, but he is really pushing that car. And you see him coming off these corners. He's getting a little bit better line. Now, hopefully Saunders is just going to drive the car and not worry about Pataska behind him. If he just drives the car, if he's faster, let him go by. Just let him have the position.
I think he is actually right now as you're saying that.
Yeah, and, just let him go. He's faster than you. Let him go. Follow him around. You're in a great position in the points. Just don't worry about it. Settle in and take off with him. Now, Saunders was faster than Fuller, so hopefully Pataska will lead Saunders away from the rest of this pack, and then the battle will be between those two for the end of the stage.
Going through the S's here, looking on at the back end of Dallas Pataska. You see the way that it moves around as they go through the S's, just trying to get the car to rotate. Very fun watching it live for sure.
You're also seeing two different lines out of these guys. I'm not sure if they have, I don't know if Saunders is using Majors Garage setups or not, but you can tell that they have different lines, a little different driving styles, and they're, so far, Saunders is doing everything he can, but he's starting to fall back a little bit from Pataska.
It's like Garth Griswold goes around on the exit of the new section of the track. He's going to get passed by a few cars. Boyd Hoggan all the way back into 24th right now after that lockup into turn one. I'm going to go back and see if I can find it real quick. Give me a second. I'm
sure Hogan's just so upset about that. He's not that type of driver. He obviously overshot the corner, and I talked about earlier how, you get to that track under braking and you're going uphill, and once you lock up, you have no control. And we saw it right there, and he's not that type of driver. He's not a dirty driver, but luckily it's worked out so far for Pataska because he came flying right back and now is waving goodbye to Saunders in second place.
He is starting to, as he's opened up that gap now to just about 2 seconds, as it's kind of fluctuating in and out as they go through these corners. But yeah, it's starting to pull open once again here, and Pataska looking like a very strong contender to win this race tonight. I think Zack Saunders may be saving a little bit of tire as well. He's technically he's an open car tonight, so only looking for a win, really, not battling for points at all. It might be running a little bit of a different strategy as well.
Yeah, you see Pataska come through those corners, and Dallas is just so silky smooth coming through there. It's so impressive to watch. He almost seems like he's just trying to settle down a little bit now.
Pete Morales, Thomas Wolfe battling right now. This is back for 9th. Wolfe unable to advance his position so far from the restart. He's actually lost 2 spots since the restart. Might have been affected in that first lap checkup there.
Well, I know there's been a couple of spots in the top 10 that guys had some trouble that might have checked up everybody a little bit, but not what you want to see.
We're going to go back real quick. I believe this is the first lap of the stage. It is. Let's go ahead and see what happened here with Hoggan as he was going into turn 1. Yeah, I mean, just a little deep into the brakes. contact with the 17 and just way deep,
Oh,
almost into
What-
that wall. Luckily,
what a
everybody
great
else,
job.
everybody else kept it pretty straight. Oh,
Oh.
Ray Gill.
Oh,
Unfortunate bystander as Hoggan was rejoining. Got to rejoin a little bit safer there. But,
yeah.
That is why he's all the way
66
back.
car. 60 nowhere to go, and man, he paid a price for that.
Saw there also we were able to see Stewart Harding Walker that got turned around there right at the entrance of the S's. So he's also a little bit further back in 20th right now.
We have a lot of fast drivers back in the pack.
We do. It's starting to become an interesting little dynamic that we're going on. We see Stephen Carlisle back in 12th as well. You know, he's been running definitely better than that position all night so far. Only 8 laps into the second stage though, so there is a lot of time left to go in this race. I would not panic just yet.
Yeah, we're starting to see this. The lower end of the top 10 is starting to swap around quite a bit now. You have Vasquez, Lawson, Johnson, Wolfe, and Morales now in that top 10. And, you know, Vasquez, I think, had a little bit of trouble earlier and now is working his way back up to the field. And Albertson's been pretty steady the whole night. And, you know, you got to wonder when he's going to break through and win a race because he's been strong. Whoa, he's been strong everywhere. The McDonald's car, not
Zach
sure who
Johnson
that
in
was.
the back. Big
Yeah,
slide
Zach
out of
Johnson.
turn 20.
Yeah, he's lucky that he's facing the right direction right now.
Thomas Wolfe gets around him as they head into turn 1.
See more cars there locking it up.
One thing that I do love about iRacing and real life racing as well with how the brakes work is once you see these guys on the brakes, it lights up red. You know that they've been using them. I love seeing the red come in those tire wheel wells and just seeing them fire up and also light down, I guess. I don't even know what you would say. Oh, big moment there for Albertson.
Man.
Recomposes, stays in front of Vasquez, going to have to collect himself there. I think Hamilton started having a moment in front of him as well, but he'll continue straight as well.
Now, you're coming through the field and you're Nick Vasquez. You see in Lawson, you see a guy like that get way sideways. Makes you a little bit nervous about trying to get around that guy without getting taken out.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can happen for sure. I would say from personal experience last night, watching Ben Lawson try to get around Xander Short there, I believe it was in stage 3, they had a little bit of a moment, came together, and it kind of took Ben Lawson out of that contention of that race, and Xander was able to continue on in front of me, but yeah, it's definitely a scary thing just seeing guys get loose or into each other right in front of you and not really having a good spot to go to.
Especially in these cars when you do that in those slower corners like you mentioned earlier. As you see
John
one
Connor
car go
way
way
deep.
wide
Ooh.
there.
Gets it back onto the track though, he's good.
Not sure who that was.
Clean looking car though for John Connor right now.
Well, was that John?
That is John. Having a nice Coda race right now, currently running in 11th. His rookie season as well in the Cup Series. We got 12 rookies this season.
And, you know, to be in the top 15 as a rookie is got to be like a podium finish to you. I mean, this is not an easy league anymore. Excuse me, easy league anymore. So it's good to see a guy like him just outside the top 10 with a chance to he has a chance to move up. As you see, the 28 car Ledger is having a little bit of trouble there.
He is on board with Pataska right now as he's making his way around some lap traffic out of the stadium section. Wanted to go on board with him just for a little bit and see kind of what he's doing here. As you see, he's just very on his P's and Q's, crossing his T's, dotting his I's, and just making sure that he's taking care of that 17 car. I have not really seen any big moments out of this car other than that lockup with Hoggan, and that wasn't even his fault. So the 17 car has been looking very nice tonight, and he's looking pretty primed for a second win on the season, and he's another one of those rookies as well. Definitely a higher rated one of those rookies, but in our league standard, he is defined as a rookie. So having a great start to his season as well, looking to possibly put his win count up to 2.
He would love to get another win. it's bragging rights, to be honest with you. Being the first multi-winner of the year, you kind of walk a little bit taller, and you know, you can run your mouth a little bit more in the chat room, and it's a good feeling. It really is. So every one of those guys would love to get a second win. And then you got the hungry guys that are looking for their first win. And like I said, the competition here is a lot different now, so it's a lot harder to do.
Yeah, when you got guys coming in the league that are rookies and winning the first 2 races and possibly the third one as well, it's definite shot to the veterans in the field. Kind of gotta be a wake-up call, I would say, for sure. Looking on here at Ben Lawson hunting down Pete Morales. You see a lot of that dirt there on the left side of that section of the track right there. You also see that rubber that I was talking about starting to build up here. Track is starting to get a little bit darker as these guys continue on racing. Very neat features.
As we were looking right there, going down up the hill there, you saw a little bit of a rut there from cars going off the track. iRacing even shows the grass getting trampled on.
It does. It's very innovative and intuitive, and just there's so many words that you could say about it. And I mean, yeah, there's some things that you're kind of capped with, like it's a racing software. There's not everything that you could do in the world with it, but it does give you a lot of freedoms to work with and do just different things with it.
See Lawson there making a move on the 45 of Johnson, and he's going to get the position coming out of turn 1.
Might not have it
Almost
just
loses
yet.
it.
Here comes Zach Johnson back on the inside. It's going to be on the outside of these S's. Probably don't want to go side by side. He'll give up that spot. Fall back in line.
But now behind them, they have a problem. Here comes Morales, and he's on fire. Watching those two tangle, he's going to try to get another spot on the night.
Another one of those rookies.
I know he would love to get a top 10 finish tonight, even better than that.
Joe Gibbons off on the track in the distance back there.
Oh, man.
That was a close moment there between Morales and Johnson. Woo.
Morales not messing around. He's giving it to him.
Yeah, and I honestly, that is a strategy that you can do. Fill up the car in front of you's mirror and get them looking in their mirror and make them make a mistake. That is a great way to get passes done at these road courses, especially when it's hard to find actual passes on pace.
The thing is you just made a good point. You get the driver in front of you to look in his rearview mirror. What happens then? Well, if you're looking in your rearview mirror, you might overshoot a corner like turn 1, as we saw a couple of guys earlier go straight into the trap. So you got to be patient, and you just got to race the track. Let them get around you. Just race the track.
Oh, Mankey gonna go around on the exit of turn 20. That's the second time we've seen a factory car go around on the exit of turn 20.
You know, when a driver like Mankey has trouble at a track.
Oh, one car way off in the back. I think that was Lager. Whew.
It was. That's the second or third time we've seen him off track in the last couple of laps.
Having some troubles controlling that 28 car. Not having the night that he probably wanted to. But yeah, back to Mankey. I mean, just the second time we've seen a factory car slip out of that corner. I don't know if it's them maybe getting a little too throttle happy, or maybe their cars are just a little loose coming out of that corner specifically. Could be a mix of things at these road courses. Does have that damage fix as well, though. So
there's a couple of cars that I've seen that have a little bit of front end damage, and that's what we saw hurt the cars later on in the race. It seemed like as if they were overheating and the engines were blowing. So hopefully some of these guys can get some of that damage fixed before they come out on the track after this next stage. But we still have 6 laps to go to the next stage. Whoa!
Phillips getting a little loose there, tail-end happy. He's having a quiet but a strong night, up 9 spots into the 15th spot right now.
That was a little sporty coming out of the corner. Yeah, he's having a great run today. I'd be jumping around doing cartwheels if I could.
Yeah, talking to him pre-race, he was just He wasn't really too excited coming here, one of these road courses. I would say a lot of the guys at Hollywood Motorsports. Oh, Joe Gibbons actually in the back, gonna have a big moment there, trying to come back onto the track. And that might be the end of the 16's night, as he will go down the pit road. But yeah, as I was saying, what a perfect time for me to say that, as Joe Gibbons has a big moment. But yeah, I don't think a lot of the guys at Hollywood Motorsports are really fond of road course racing, and I think that's one of the things that I want to get them caught up on this season. And yeah, just big moment there for Joe. We also saw a big moment there for Mankey once again through turn 1. Almost hits that yellow curb. Ooh, got to be close.
Yep, Mankey got into the back of the 2 car. Sent him flying. Mankey's he's a little mad right now. He is really cutting the course, doing everything he can to catch the car in front of him.
Yeah, I don't think he's running where he really wants to be running right now. Obviously back into 19th, didn't have the starting position that he really wanted either, I'm assuming. I don't know if he was trying to set a lap and just never got a lap down, or just never attempted a lap at all. But a battle right now between Hamilton, Albertson, and Wolfe for 4th.
Yeah, you see, Wolfe working his way up the top 10. We saw him, he was back in 12th not that long ago. All of a sudden, here he is towards the front. And these 3 guys have been going at it for the last 2 or 3 laps. And it's allowing the car in front to get away from him a little bit.
It is. You see Fuller there. That is that car that is placed in front of these 3. He is just a little bit pulling away now in front of these guys. You see him just got around Jim Mott, as they're starting to come up on Jim Mott now as well through these S's. A little bit of a light tap there for the 1 on the curb, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, and on his way to get a ice cream sundae is Pataska in that 17 car. He's now has a 10-second lead, 11-second lead now on Saunders in 2nd place. And then it's a 23-second gap back to Fuller in the 3 car, and excuse me, in 3rd place in the 9 car.
Having a great night for that fill-in drive for Hayden Higginbotham. He didn't stop by in the chat a little earlier. Said a tornado landed around his area, so hoping he's doing all right now. But his fill-in driver doing a great job right now.
Glad that hopefully everybody's doing well, and it's tough to hear some of the news that we're hearing, you know, across the internet about what's going on out west. So hopefully everybody's safe. And you see Wolfe now. Wolfe is starting to push the issue a little bit as he's trying to get a huge run
outside of Albertson here. Not in the spot to make that pass though just yet. Might look for a move to the inside here on turn 1.
A little bit of a block thrown there by the 14 cars. They're flying up in turn 1, and this is where we saw our problem earlier today. As you see how it drops off.
Almost contact.
Man, these two are rubbing stickers off the back of each other.
See Wolfe give Albertson just a little bit of breathing room here as they start going through the S's. I think he's going to try to set up for this hairpin coming up to make that move here in a second.
See how much gain Wolfe just gains right up on him, and then Albert seems to be able to get off the corners just a little bit better, as now you see him going through that S-corner as you see him get way loose right there.
That's not going to help him set up a pass there.
I was just going to heat those tires, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get him to cool back down again so he can have some grip. See Nick Vasquez leading this pack of the 3 car and the 45 and the 95 of Morales. These guys have been battling for a while now.
Yeah, this is that battle for the final stage points here, as we're actually close to the end of stage 2 here. Lap 17 now underway. Will we see guys come down pit road to short pit this 2nd stage? That is the question. Pataska has not come down pit road just yet. Might be looking for a stage win here in the 2nd stage. He knows he's got the car to win, so he might not need to short pit this stage to put himself in a good position.
The way he came through the field, he dropped back to about 4th or 5th position, and he just got around everybody like it was nothing. So he knows he has a good car. Right now, Saunders is doing everything he can to keep Fuller behind him, but I think Fuller's starting to gain up a little bit on him.
He is starting to pull in just a little bit more, about 2 seconds now between those 2 cars for 2nd and 3rd. Looking back at this battle between Hamilton, Albertson, and Wolfe, this is one of the closer battles on the track right now. And it's also 3 cars, so something that you don't really see a lot in these road course races, I feel like. Which I think we're going to see a lot of this year, actually, with the field being very competitive.
Now, 2 seconds on a road course really isn't that much time. On a oval course, it's an eternity. But here, one little bobble can lose you 3 seconds. It doesn't take much.
And it can, and there's a big bobble out of the 1, another bobble out of the 14, and here comes Thomas Wolfe.
Thomas Wolfe just lucked out right there. He's going to get past the 14. And Wolfe right now, he's going to get a huge run on the 1 car, and I think he's going to get him on the front straightaway to even get that position.
Hamilton with a little wide there on the exit of 13 in this configuration, 15 on the full configuration.
I think Hamilton's burning up his tires just a little bit too much, trying to keep it together. And right now, the 94 of Wolfe is in the catbird seat. He's in the preferred line right now as they accelerate into the next corner. Let's see if they can hold it together. 94 squeezes them tight to the inside, which is what you want to do. Makes them lose some of that momentum.
Wolfe,
and there it is.
See a few cars down pit road now as well. Pataska going to come down pit road. Actually just came out of pit road right next to these guys in this battle. Looks like Fuller on pit road, Ben Lawson, Boyd Hoggan all on pit road right now. So a few of these guys starting to come down pit road here. And it is going to be this final lap where Zack Saunders will have the choice of coming down pit road here to choose if he wants a short pit. He might, since he is an open car and only looking for race wins. So we'll see what he's going to do. But other than that, we got this battle still raging on for now second as everybody's starting to come down pit road.
Now, I want you to think about this. Pataska went into the pits, came out, and he's still in 5th spot.
Still in 5th and has a shot to get to second here as he's actually going to send a move on the inside of Cameron Albertson. Going to be on the outside here, this double left. Albertson going to fight back on the inside. Pataska going to try the crossover back to the left. Little slide out of the 14, and Pataska probably going to clear here on the outside. He does.
He does. You know, the thing is Albertson knows that the 17 has better tires, so he should have just let him go. He almost took both of them out.
Yeah, that was almost a big moment for Albertson right there.
Yeah, there's really no need when the guy's that much faster than you just let him go. And luckily, everybody made it through there. But now you got Vasquez trying to chase down Albertson, but he's a little bit further back.
Another slide out of Albertson right there, coming out of 20. Oh, that was Jonathan Lager once again deep into turn 1. Zack Saunders did come down pit road, so it looks like Thomas Wolfe might be picking up another stage win here if he can stay in front of Noah Hamilton and everybody else that is behind him. Oh, Thomas starting to blink.
Oh, that's kind of scary.
Connection issues possibly. We know that weather has been going rampant on a lot of people's internet connections. I know for sure that in the DFW Metroplex, just yesterday morning we had big moment for Carroll in front of Wolfe. But as I was saying, about 100,000 customers I think lost power just in the morning storms that we had, and those winds were definitely knocking stuff over and knocking out generators and stuff like that. So definitely scary storms moving through the country right now.
Not what Wolfe wants to hear or see, because he just, if he's got to lose power, he wants it to be after he wins this stage, so at least he can recoup that. But right now you see the 1 car locking it up, and the 17's going to squeeze by him.
He might. Hamilton does have the inside advantage right now. Pataska still doesn't have his car in front just yet. Still side by side coming through out of the stadium section now. Pataska going to have that preferred line on the inside. Might be able to clear here. He will as they go to turn 20 now. And he's back up to second, looking to possibly take the stage. Never mind, caution is out.
Wow. That's a pretty good performance by Pataska. I think he's kind of sending a message right now.
I think they were actually a lap early. I don't know if that was a mess up on race control.
No, I haven't lapped 40. It should have been
at the end of lap. It should be at the end of lap 40.
going into lap 41, correct?
Yeah, so I don't know if that was a mess up or if there was something that happened on the track. We'll have to get a clarification on that.
Well, I believe the rule is it's going to be a 10-car pileup. Is that
5-car pileup?
Oh, 5-car pileup. So, yeah. So I mean, that would be a pretty significant problem to have. So,
I'm not seeing anybody that really lost a lot of positions from where they were running before.
Nope.
So it might just be a mishap by race control there. But this will be the end of the stage, and this is how they'll run. So Thomas Wolfe will win stage 2. Pataska moves back up to 2nd. He'll be the leader on this restart. Hamilton, Albertson, 3rd and 4th. Vasquez, 5th. And then you'll see Morales, Johnson, Carlisle, Saunders, and John Connor round out that top 10. Why don't we go ahead and take a little break real quick? We'll come back and interview maybe somebody, and we'll get racing for stage 3. So let's step aside and get some water, hopefully. Calm our voices for a little bit here. What a fun race. But yeah, we'll be back here in a second, and you'll see these guys come down pit road here, and we'll be back for stage 3.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work, so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
Welcome back to coverage here at Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. Currently Dallas Pataska out front. In front of Stephen Carlisle, Zack Saunders, and Nathan Fuller. Ben Lawson will round out that top 5. And that's how we'll be kicking off stage 3. Let's go ahead and talk to the guy that's been dominating this race, Bill. Mr. Dallas Pataska. See if I can find him real quick. Oh, I might not be able to find him. I am not seeing Dallas, so we might not be able to talk to Dallas.
Sorry about that. My puppy just got out of the house.
Oh, you're good, you're good. I was going to say let's go ahead and talk to our leader, Dallas Pataska, but I'm not seeing him in a channel, so we'll go ahead and talk to second place right now, Stephen Carlisle, and see what he has to say. I don't believe that we've actually talked to Mr. Carlisle yet this season so far, so might be getting our first time talking to him. Hey there, Steven. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yo.
All right. Right now we see you up into second place right now. You've kind of been hanging around that top 10 all night. It's been a wild race that we've seen, a few restarts so far. What are you looking for on this restart specifically to get yourself in a good position to finish this race here tonight?
Well, trying to keep up with Dallas is one thing. Not sure that's going to happen, though, but I'm going to try. But I don't have a shot here, so I'm just going to try to keep it in front of as many cars as possible, let everybody check up and deal with the chaos behind. I think everyone's still going to make one more pit stop, so just going to try and see what I can do to get out ahead of everybody else when time comes.
Yeah, we know you're a very talented road course racer. I know for sure myself from firsthand experience driving behind you at the street course last season, but obviously just trying to keep yourself clean going into turn 1 here. On the inside, you got a good spot. What do you think you can do to maximize the finishing position of this car?
It's going to depend on what happens behind me here. I know the last restart didn't go very well for this line, but hopefully I'm far enough ahead to where I'm going to avoid the chaos and just try to capitalize on that moving forward. Yeah, just going to have to see what happens.
Give it over to Bill here. Give him a few minutes to interrogate you.
Steve, we've seen the track. It looks like it's getting a little slick out there. How bad is the track condition right now?
I think it depends on the tires. I've found something that I'm not going to say in case anybody else is listening. So, I think it has to do with tires, really. Track can be good or bad, depending on your tire situation.
All right, buddy. Well, you're getting ready to go green. Good luck to you. Hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
Thanks, appreciate it.
So Carlisle
and I know
in second right now.
And I know Steve's an animal lover, so I will say this. If you do want a new puppy or a dog, look into adoption, please. Adoption dogs are the absolute best. So help out, volunteer, donate whatever you can to your local shelter to help dogs and promote rescue. And, I love my dogs so much. And, rescued dogs, there's something about them that they're the absolute best, and they're just so loyal. So spay and neuter your cat and dog, and look into adoption, please.
Good
and
advice from
that's
Bill.
all I'm going to say, so let's get on to the race.
Yeah, definitely go to your local adoption center if you're definitely looking for a pet. I would say go to one of those over any shop, but I'm not going to name names. But pace car dives off into pit road for stage 3 here. We're going to get underway. It's going to be Pataska Saunders on that front row. He has the option to go whenever. Does he go early this time? He went early last time. He goes early again. Green flag back out here at COTA. And we're racing for the final stage here.
And let's see if they can make it to the first corner, because this is where Carlisle had a little bit of Pataska had a little bit of excitement last time. It seems like Saunders got underneath Carlisle right there.
Everybody is clean. Looks like we are good.
Well, glad to see that. And what these guys don't want to see is...
Oh, Noah Hamilton going around in front of the pack. Stewart Harding Walker was also around behind him. I don't know if anybody else really got damage. I saw one car get clipped. Cameron Albertson goes around there as well. Chaos going on.
There's a car stopped at the top of the track right there. Cars are still spinning.
Can't tell who that is. That looks like Corey Mott. We're going to have to go back and see what happens here. Chaos off the restart out of the second corner into the S's. Looks like Corey just lost it.
I don't know if he lost it, if he got
Did he
But
got
looked to
turned?
me like he got booted.
Oh, he got turned by Tyler Bellinger.
Oh, yeah. I think Cody was trying to stay low with the car on the outside, and I don't think the other car knew he was going to come down in front of him. I don't know if Corey knew the car was there.
Whole bunch of shaking up through the field. Albertson will fall back to 23rd after that spin. Hamilton back to 19th. Boyd Hoggan back up to 4th here and into the top 5.
Yeah, we're gonna see how fast Hoggan is compared to last night. He's trying to catch Pataska, and that's going to be a battle. But he's got to get through Carlisle, who's not going to be easy. It's one thing if he catches Carlisle. It's going to be another thing trying to get around him. And then forget about Carlisle, which that's going to be difficult. But in front of him, you have another guy that's going to be just as difficult than Saunders.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough for him to get those positions, but he does have time.
Also, a little bit of damage on that 23 car as well. That could hinder his progress moving forward. Has a run here on Carlisle on the exit of the new section. Going to be looking to the inside here onto this hairpin. Carlisle might just give it to him. He's a very smart racer.
Yep.
He will. Carlisle will fall back to 4th. Hoggan moves up to 3rd. And he'll start his hunt onto Zack Saunders now. Saunders already 2.5 behind Pataska here.
These guys are really pushing it so hard. Pataska doesn't seem like he's pushing it, but I know Saunders you're seeing him starting to get a little squirrely, and these guys towards the back are having a tough time. That 3 car getting real wide there, and we've seen him have some trouble earlier today. Walker, he's avoided trouble on a couple occasions, but he was involved in that big last kerfluffle where he went flying way off the track.
Looks like Alan Phillips on pit road might have been involved in one of those incidents. Noah Hamilton being one of those cars that got turned around trying to make a recovery drive. Whoa, Caleb Tipton going to lose control of that 69 car just behind them. He's going to lose a few spots. Ooh, got to rejoin the track safely there. Gets it rolling once again. Albertson, another one of those guys that got affected by that chaotic restart into the S's. Trying to make a move on Mason Hoffner now.
Now, every time we have a restart, we always show the front of the pack, but there's a big old mess behind it, so who knows how many problems we've actually had tonight in that first corner.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of stuff going on all night, I would say, for sure. And these guys getting very aggressive on the track right now. Here comes Ben Lawson taking a peek on Nathan Fuller to the inside. Nothing there for him. Gonna look back to the inside here. Trying to set something up. Gonna go a little deep, block up that back tire. Gotta be careful.
Fuller very accomplished at road racing. We've seen him do wonderful things last night. These guys, the 94 car of Wolfe, he's trying to make his way back up there. And look who's in the top 10. Mankey in the 6th, and in 10th spot, the 11 of Condor. Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? Yeah, he's up to 10th right now. Started in 11th, so he's been trying to get back up into this top 10. And he is back up into the top 10. Yankee having a great drive tonight. Whoa, big moment there. Thomas Wolfe in front trying to make a pass on Stewart Harding Walker. They're side by side right now out of 20. Drag race down the front straightaway. Almost a little bit of contact there. Side drafting, trying to pull each other back into turn 1. Wolfe might have the spot here on the inside.
These guys, you can just tell they're pushing it harder and harder each lap. It's almost like the race is ending. They need to settle down a little bit. It's just the beginning of stage 3, and this is the longest stage of the night. So you don't want to burn your tires off too quickly on this stage.
Yeah, we had 40 laps technically for this stage, but once they got rolling, it was technically 38, I would say 37, I think, total laps. So maybe a little bit come down pit road, maybe a little bit earlier or later, depending on what I was talking about earlier. So I think that pit window is going to be somewhere from maybe lap 58 to maybe, let's say, 65. Really is when that original first pit window will open. We might see a few guys run a little long, trying to make a little something out of those older tires work, but I think once we see guys starting to pit, majority of the field should follow.
Yeah, You know, if the front of the field, if you're trying to hold on with tires as long as you can, and everybody else is getting tires, you're gonna fall very quickly.
Thomas
We've
Wolfe
seen it already,
starting to lean on the 29 just a little bit.
and I think he's gonna get him coming out of the not this corner, but the next one.
It might be. It's going to be very close. He's on the outside here. Harding Walker going to have the inside. It's going to be another drag race out of turn 20.
So the Wolfe likes using that pad to build up his momentum and turn a little bit wider, but Walker is staying tough on the inside, and these two are going to go into turn 1 side by side.
Wolfe blocks off the 29, dive to the inside. There's a lockup in front of him. That's Nathan Fuller getting a little loose. It's going to allow Wolfe to push up here. I believe also Ben Lawson just had a moment and lost a few spots there. Oh, Fuller trying to make a block on Thomas Wolfe. Got to be careful there going into the S's. Wolfe all on the back bumper of that 9 car right now. Harding Walker sandwiching him right now. It's a Tipton Harding Motorsports sandwich, and Fuller might get turned right here, and he is. Wolfe and Fuller into the wall, and this is going to cause a stack up. Here comes Ben Lawson, Stephen Carlisle trying to get around it. Woo! What a moment there.
Oh. Yeah, you are definitely going to need a 2-part series on the aftermath of this next video you're going to make. These guys are not happy with each other. We've been saying it for the last 10 laps. They're racing like it's the end of the race. They need to calm down.
They are now big damage on the front end of that 94 car. That was a huge moment for the 94. Nathan Fuller falls back to 9th now. Falling back to the grasp of the Shield Condor there.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna point the finger at anybody right there. My expertise doesn't. That's above my pay grade to decide who was at fault on that one. But those two guys just raced way too hard for this early in the race.
Oh, moment out of Lawson once again out of 20. Able to keep it going straight, but he's gonna lose a few more spots here. Fuller gonna get around Lawson now. As well as I believe Mankey got around him as well.
I'm wondering if Lawson has some type of damage.
Xander Short trying to make a move on Zach Johnson here in the back. You see Cody Porter just in front of them. Johnson goes for the crossover back to the inside. Going to be the outside as they go to 2 now. Short going to be clear. Bunch of battles going on the track right now all over. You see this whole big stack of cars right here. This is 5th all the way back to about 14th. All stacked up.
Once again, you see Pataska just leaving the field behind him now up to a 7, almost 8-second lead. Hoggan is back up into 3rd, and he's fighting with Saunders, and Walker is up to 4th now.
Yeah, this battle for 2nd starting to pick up a little bit as Hoggan has closed in on Zack Saunders. I'll have to see once we start seeing a little bit closer to the end of this race, kind of where these guys are going to shake up, because I think pit stop's definitely going to play a huge factor here at the end of this thing, where some of these guys will come down pit road, because we're going to have green flag pit stops too. These guys know how to come down pit road under green flag conditions, and then also just stuff going on in the back. I mean, lap traffic could come into factor here. You never know. It's anybody's game here at this point. Obviously, Pataska sitting in the best spot, but if he gets taken out by a lap traffic car or something just happens to him, you never know.
Now you come in for a pit stop. you come in for that last pit stop. You're still going to have fuel in the tank, and you're going to try to split it. So how much fuel do you want to put in these cars? That's something that you got to start thinking about. Right now, a little bit of action on the track is the 60 car is doing everything he can to get away from the 23 and Hoggan. Hoggan is all over the back of Saunders right now.
A little bit of contact as they go through that corner. Trying to get through this lap traffic as well. That's slowing up Saunders just a little bit. He's trying to navigate his way through. It's allowing Hoggan to close in probably a lot more than Saunders wants.
Sid from Waterford Speedbowl, he does a video series called Sid's View on YouTube. Great guy. He films all the races at Waterford Speedbowl in Connecticut. And when you see two cars making contact right there like that, that's what he calls a
And let's
you
look
can
at
hear
that
him
gap.
screaming in the
Ooh.
hear him
What a
screaming
gap.
in the stands doing that every week. But these guys are lighting it up.
Yeah, and you see the gap between first, second, third. There's fourth right there. Fifth, sixth, seventh. There's eighth, ninth, and then 10th right there. See
And
the
these
rest of
two
the field
guys,
coming through.
these two guys right there, they're not far out of the top 10. And I think that's Vasquez is in the back of the two cars and sitting back there in 12th. No, maybe he's in 11th.
He's in 11th, yeah. So just outside the top 10 right now.
Yeah, and right now he is in third place in points, and he's going to want to catch up to those guys in front of him, being Pataska. So he's going to need to step it up a little bit.
He is in
He
front
only
of
has
Porter.
30 laps to do it.
Is in front of Porter right now, so that is good points for him right there. That will help him close in just a little bit more. But definitely want to put cars in between himself and Porter instead of being right in front of Porter. That's how you'll start gaining more points.
And Porter's not done racing yet. He's still got some race in him.
Definitely does. Had him for our lap around the track this week. Thanks to him for supplementing his voice and his audio time recording. Whatever I want to say, I can't speak right now. There's just so much going on the track. Man, I'm trying to watch the live timing, trying to commentate the race, trying to make sure all the graphics look good and everything. It's a lot going on right now here in Coda, but it's been a very fun race to watch for sure. How you feeling right now, Bill?
Well, I'm trying to look at the back of the pack to see if anything happens, but I got to be honest with you, after 2 nights of commentating, my voice is starting to go a little bit. So, bear with me, I'm getting old, but right now we have 29 laps to go. So in about 10 laps or 9 laps or so, we should start seeing guys thinking about pitting. That's if they decide to split it. We're going to have to see who stays out and who comes in. I think you're going to have a couple of guys go real late just to try to gain a few extra positions. So we'll have to see what happens coming up.
Looking at a battle between 3 cars that have kind of had a little bit of troubles here to start stage 3. Mason Hoffner, Corey Mott, Garth Griswold. A big check up there from a 30, big lockup, and that's going to allow Griswold and Mott to both get around him. But these guys, we saw them turned around at the beginning of the stage. Thomas Filano going off track just in front of him. Trying to make some recovery drives, however, between Mott, Griswold, and Hoffner right now. 30 laps to do it.
Griswold giving it everything he can to try to catch up with Mott, but right now the 30 car is starting to come back on him, and he's going to have some issues with that. So he better just focus on the track. Like I said earlier, race the track, not the guy behind you.
Corey Mott passing Jonathan Lager there through the S's. Got to be real careful making a pass there.
Lager getting way out of the way right there, pulling off towards the infield. Great sportsmanship by him.
Garth using all the track.
Yeah, you see how bumpy it is going around this place. And right there, you can see the shine on the track. That's the rubber buildup.
And surprisingly, the lines into these corners isn't as dark as it was last night up to this point in the race. I don't know if it's because maybe they're all over the track and maybe not as uniform on these lines as they were last night, or if it's maybe the tire model on this specific car, maybe something different with the way that the rubber builds up, but definitely a lot lighter on the track than it was last night up to this point in the race.
It is, but one thing we haven't seen at all today is the wind be an issue. So the weather seems to be stable for everybody. That's one thing we talked about earlier. But right now, as you said, it doesn't look as dark as it was last night, but it seems to have a lot more shine on it when you look through the driver's view. You see another car there go wide. Not sure what car that was, but even the 3 using up as much as this track as he can, trying to catch up to Mankey.
Yeah, I missed that car going wide as I was switching the camera there. Looking for a little closer of a battle on track right now. You see Mankey trying to hunt down, or I should say Ben Lawson trying to hunt down his team owner, Stephen Mankey, just in front of him. 2 factory cars, and actually 3 factory cars lined up right now. You see Xander Short there in the picture as well. He's in 9th place right now, trying to run down his 2 teammates.
short. I think got the boot earlier. We saw somebody get into the back of him and send him for a ride trying to get through one of the chicanes. But he's battled his way back up into the 9th spot, and behind him is the 04 of Porter. So we've got a lot of guys shaking up this top 10. You know,
another moment there out of 20 for Ben. He's been having a lot of trouble with that corner. I don't know if it's his driving style or if it's the setup or what's going on with that 3 car, but man, just having rough exits out of that turn 20.
You're going to laugh at me right now, but this is the first time I've ever noticed the brake calipers getting hot.
Yeah, no, it's very nice having that feature there, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I heard you say it earlier, and I'm like, what? I've never seen that. And then I've been looking for it, and right there was a very good example where you could really see it getting red.
Yeah, those deep braking zones, especially into turn 1 for sure, will definitely give you that good view of those brake calipers lighting up into those nice red colors that you normally see. A little bit of the color showing up right there as well. If we were at the normal layout of this track, it would definitely be lighting up big time red. Whoa, big moment for Lawson there. Using a deep part of the track, able to actually kind of make it work a little bit there, actually. I don't know if he got a slowdown for going that wide, though. But he is starting to widen the track out a lot. And with COTA, you got to be kind of careful with the track limits here. Although we can use as many X's as we want, there is still slowdowns that iRacing will give you just automatically for going a little too wide. And going that wide definitely going to give you a slowdown for sure.
A lot of these guys struggling real hard. I don't know what's going on, but my chat doesn't seem to be working in Twitch tonight.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But it looks like Boyd Hoggan coming down pit road. First one on pit road. Nick Vasquez is going to follow. So cars starting to come down pit road here. It's a little earlier than I thought. I said 57, I think, earlier to about 65 was going to be that first window, but 54 here for Hoggan and Nick Vasquez.
Well, Vasquez has been having a little trouble in the back. Maybe he decided he needs the new tires now to make his move and hopefully catch a break with these guys. You know, when it's time for them to pit, hopefully he'll be able to catch up with them and pass them.
Yeah, coming to 26 to go, so that would probably be the longest run of the day for these guys on those tires for sure.
Without a doubt, and that's going to make it interesting towards the end of this race. We've already seen guys slipping and sliding now. The more aggressive these guys get, the worse the cars handle, and that's why we're seeing more cars go off the track. And it's going to get worse as the day goes on. And I don't know if you just heard that gust of wind we just had here, but it was pretty scary. There you see those brakes locking up right there, glowing red. That is so cool.
It is. That's something that I really love about just brakes and how they heat up like that. I think it's just a very neat feature about cars, and obviously you see that in real life racing as well. It's a very neat feature that just is visual pleasing, I guess. But Thomas Wolfe starting to make a little bit of a move here onto Stewart Harding Walker. But another thing that I wanted to add on to what you were saying about these cars starting to kind of slide and just lose traction everywhere on the track. You see the pebbles flying up from the dirt from these guys also flying off. That is also probably a huge factor to why these guys are starting to go really wide and deep into these corners. Obviously hitting the brakes on something like that where it's not, you know, set ground underneath you, it's gonna not really want to slow down the car.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm interested to see how Wolfe's car seems to be handling pretty well for somebody who just nosed it into the wall not that long ago. So hopefully he doesn't have that much damage that will cause engine problems that we saw last night. But now look who's moved up into the 6th spot, Mr. Mankey, coming out of nowhere. Here he comes.
He has moved up to 6. All these guys still yet to pit here in Stage 3. You see 25 to go now here in Austin. First Texas race of the year will go to Texas Motor Speedway later in May. for a more traditional style of NASCAR racing.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
I
like
should
I
say,
said,
Major's Garage racing.
Like I said, I'm not a big road course fan for these cars, but after last night's race, man, I was looking forward to it. And, Pataska's put on quite the display today. I I don't know what more you can say about the guy. I mean, he's up to almost a 15-second lead now on Saunders, and he can basically pit and come back out, and he's going to be in first place still. I mean, he's just running away from this.
I think he will lose the spot to Saunders because I think I want to say it's 20 seconds if you pit in front of somebody and want to stay in front of them. I think it's 20 seconds that you want to have in front of them, but we're looking at a battle here between two rookies, Pete Morales, Cameron Albertson, side by side through the S's. Keeping it clean though. Albertson goes through.
Nice job by those guys. Morales having a great run today.
He is currently in 15th right now. Sending a big move onto the inside of Albertson. Oh, what is going on into this corner? That was Joe Gibbons there that Morales dove it deep into. Kind of just an unfortunate situation for Gibbons to be in right there. That was definitely not his fault being a lap car. Just two guys trying to battle for a position here, and Morales kind of also sent it in a little deep, locked up the tire. Just shot him straight into that 16 car.
You might as well call him Marlboro Man because he just got smoked coming out of that corner after he spun. He got hit very hard. I don't know how Morales' car is still running. I thought for sure he'd have some type of damage. But again,
these next gens are tough.
He does have some pretty significant damage there on the right front there. It is beat up quite a bit. Hopefully that won't mess with his engine as you see the 81 coming in for a pit.
As well as looks like Logan Geisbrecht in the 48 coming down pit road. So these guys are starting to slowly file into pit road right now. Boyd Hoggan still that first car on that strategy. He's in 9th right now. So he's looking to utilize these new tires right now. But I think, honestly, the overcut might work with how early these guys pitted. I don't know who that was off right there in the back.
Yeah.
Somebody was in the sand trap, though.
There's just so much going on throughout the track. It's impossible to keep track of it all.
Here's our closest battle at the moment between Garth Griswold and John Connor all the way back in 21st and 22nd. Like I said, all night we've had battles all around the track. And this just goes to show you that these guys are still battling all the way back here in the 20s.
Now I notice we're starting to see more and more cars really showing off those bright red calipers in the front. So hopefully that's not going to be an issue for these guys.
Yeah, as we get later in the race, I think these worn tires definitely going to play way bigger of a factor. So I know a lot of these guys definitely starting to look for pit road at any point they can. We're getting closer to that lap 60 point here in this race. We're at 57 right now, which is what I kind of said I thought was going to be a good point to come down pit road here in stage 3. So we'll see if we see more continuations of pit stops, or maybe these guys will run it a little long. Griswold going to go around.
And just so I don't get beat up in the chat room, I meant to say caliper. I didn't mean to say caliper. I meant to say rotor. Calipers don't get red hot.
Oh, it is the rotor. Yeah, like it is the rotors. Yeah, it totally slipped my mind too. I fully agreed with you there. We see Albertson.
If your caliper gets that red, you're in trouble. Now, when we run modifieds up here in the Northeast, it's not uncommon to see going into the corners sparks actually flying off of your caliper, your rotors going into the corners. So if you ever see an in-car camera view of like New Smyrna Speedway is a place where you get to see it real good, look that up on YouTube and you'll actually see sparks coming off. That's why modifieds are the best cars in the world. I'd like to see the modifieds at this race.
Modifieds are definitely very interesting to drive around road courses, especially with them being, kind of tuned to go left only. It's kind of the same with these cars as well, but these ones definitely have more of a balance where you can go left and right for sure. And these things were built for road course racing, so I think iRacing gives you a better look at the craziness that it can also provide, especially with guys not being professional drivers. A lot of these guys are just regular blue collar, or is it white collar? I don't even remember that's what I'm trying to say, but just regular guys out there racing. None of these guys are, really paid big time bucks. But yeah, just a lot of guys having fun. I think
That's
it is
all
blue
it
collar,
is.
yeah.
And it is so much fun, and it's really not that expensive to get into. If you're like me and you go crazy, I didn't go that crazy compared to some of these guys, but I probably spent a little more than I should. But hey, you know what? Let my kids work for their inheritance. I'm not going to just give it for free.
Do what you love. That's what I say.
That's right. I love me.
Looking on a battle though right now between Stewart, Harding, Walker, Thomas Wolfe. Yeah, that car is he's definitely driving it very well for it going nosediving into the wall early in stage 3.
The one thing I want to point out, the lead now for Pataska is up to 18 seconds. So he's getting real close to the point where he's going to be able to pit and just come back out in the lead. As it is right now, he's going to be in the top 3 probably, and we saw him do it earlier, and this is about the time where I'm surprised we're not seeing him. We know he's not going to make it on fuel. So is he just going to keep running and running and running to the very end and just come in for a splash of fuel and go? Or what is he going to do? This is going to be interesting to watch what Pataska does. Saunders is going to be in a heated battle with Walker, and these guys, that top 10, you're going to see the positions in that top 10 switch at least 3 more times before the end of this race.
Yeah, and as we were going through that, you see the back half of the top 10 all coming down pit road. The factory cars started off that little run of pit road entry. Nichelle Condor misses stall there. Kind of actually easy to do here. It's really hard to see where the stalls are on this track. But off pit road he goes, side by side with Cody Porter. Dallas Pataska now on pit road. Whoa, Bellinger.
Yeah, there's Pataska. Yeah, almost got into the 88. Wow, that was close.
See what happened here. It looks like both of them coming down pit road on the same lap here. Bellinger just overshoots the entrance. Pataska makes a great avoidance maneuver, goes way deep inside and gets around that. Bellinger lucky enough to also not plow into those barriers.
One thing I can guarantee we're not going to see is just 2 tires.
Yeah, that definitely will not be a strategy you'll see tonight here for sure. Saunders will inherit the lead for just the moment though as Pataska goes down pit road that time. Come out in second. Actually third as Hardin Walker just now got around him. He's right there, and you see Thomas Wolfe right there as well, so they'll drop to 4th actually. So maybe it's might be a little expanded now with the shorter track. I think it might be 30 seconds now actually. That's what it's seeming like. So these guys were about 30 seconds behind Pataska when he came down pit road.
We saw Pataska earlier just kind of work his way up front, didn't even care.
Xander Short locking up the tire in front of the 9 of Nathan Fuller and the 3 of Ben Lawson. They're going to both go around. He's locking up it again. Whoa. Trying to warm up those tires. Cold tires definitely also another thing that can definitely throw you off. You got hot tires.
Ooh, there it is right there. And the
cold tires, hot tires, they're both bad.
You have to be careful coming out of the pits on cold tires, because if you spin, you're going to ruin that set of tires before you even start racing.
Yeah, and I don't think those tires are going to be very happy with Xander Short right now. And just coming off pit road a lap ago, starting off the run not too strong.
Now, at what point do you want to start putting the brake bias a little bit towards the rear, just to maybe save those front rotors a little bit?
I think the guys that really know what they're doing, they've been touching it all race. They've been moving it up and down all race, and that's really how you see guys like Pataska get out in front by 15, 20 seconds. That's just another one of those things that you kind of learn. Looks like Saunders actually just got fuel.
Yep. So, ooh, that's an interesting strategy right there.
You know, he is a very good road racer. We'll see what Thomas Wolfe does. He's on pit road as well.
I'm certainly not going to question what he does.
He's going to be getting tires here, so...
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of different playing strategies here from these guys. Stewart Harding Walker now currently has the lead. Pataska right behind him, though. Walker does still need a pit. Last on pit road at lap 40.
Yeah, so Pataska right now, he has a big enough lead where he can just chill out, but Walker's just, he knows what he can't do anything, so he's just going to give him the position.
Yeah, he was
Smart
just
move by Walker.
letting him go by. He'll probably dive down to pit road here pretty soon, I would assume. Maybe also could be looking to possibly try to stretch the fuel tank. I know I said it was 35 to 37, but with good fuel saving strategies, you could run it probably to 40 if you are very conservative with your fuel. So we'll see what he does. I don't think that's the strategy, but it could be.
Yeah, I think trying to... one thing that does help is that we started a few laps short for this run. But
that too, yeah.
You know, but it's still, man, making up 3 laps here at this track, that's really tough. The only thing that's going to help him is elevations. So going uphill, it's going to be all right for him, but going downhill is going to be a different story.
Battle back for 21st right now between Tipton and Albertson. Closest battle on the track at the moment.
Man, the 14 car looked like it was going to drive right through him there.
Started off stage 3 with a unfortunate spin out of the exit of those S's there that they just went through. And he's been trying to recover his way back up.
Yeah,
went down
working
pit
real
road a couple
hard.
laps ago on fresh tires.
Not the best of luck from him too today. You know, where he is right now does not truly show how well he drove this race tonight.
Yeah, stage 1, stage 2, he was definitely up front, up inside that top 10 all night, and just had a unfortunate spin there to start stage 3, and it you could see how it puts you back.
It doesn't take much.
Pete Morales now on pit road from, I believe, 10th when he came down pit road, now back to 12th. A few other guys will pass him here. But most of the field has gone down pit road now. I'm only seeing a few guys that are still last pit on lap 40. One of them being Harding Walker.
Pataska's just so smooth with the corners. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I would be... I think it's a safe bet to say that he's pretty much got this thing locked up unless anything really major happens to him. No pun intended there. But, you know, anything big happening to him, I don't think he really has any shot of losing this race, I would say, right now.
You know, I just got to say this about Stewart's car. When you see... Oh, hey, Stewart! When you see it from a dead front angle, it kind of looks like an SRX car without the wing on the back because of his decals. It kind of gives it that sloped hood.
I can kind of see what you're saying.
See, you know, it kind of looks like an SRX car without the wing.
He's trying to hold his spot right now in second. I believe if he comes down pit road, he should cycle out to either 5th or 4th.
He's still going to have some time to make up some of those positions. Although it's going to be difficult because I think all of those guys have already pitted.
They have, and if he can, you know, keep that gap between them, I mean, they don't really have a shot of catching him, and he can really just start running laps a lot slower. Yeah, he'll probably lose maybe 1 or 2 spots, but even then, I would say that's really the same outcome as coming down pit road here. But we'll see.
Yeah, but, you know, Stewart's not stupid. You know, I think you might see him stretch it out a little bit. All he has to do is come in and get a splash of gas.
That's true. And you know, these guys maximizing their finishing position, just you know, getting what they can out of these cars. You know, he had a good run last night.
Yep.
So we know he's been looking to probably have a good night tonight as well. Started 9th tonight, and he's up 7 spots right now currently. But Zack Saunders on those fresh tires is starting to close in a lot on him right now. Last time by Harding Walker was a 144, which is really slow for these Cup cars. Saunders was a 137.4. So you kind of see the difference between old tires and fresh tires there.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's getting to the point where he might be able to come in and get 4 new tires and a full and load of fuel and still manage to come out in the top 3. But it's getting close. Hoggan's right at that cutoff time where he'd be able to do it. But if you think about it, all he needs is a splash of fuel, and he's going to stay in second position.
Well, you kind of got to think about it. It's actually showing the gap to the leader there. So Hoggan's actually technically only about 11 seconds back from him. But
you see the 19 car go around again.
Yeah, Jim Mott having another moment there. A lot of these guys having some tough times here tonight. It's definitely a tough track, so I don't blame them.
It is. That's why I'm up here in the booth. And like I said, I unless they gave me a provisional, I think the pace car beat my timer on this track today. So it's extremely difficult to drive one of these cars around. They do not go into the corners and just whip around the corner like a Porsche. It's not how it works.
It's kind of funny you mentioned Porsche, because that is the pace car here.
Yes, I did notice that.
But yeah, you can kind of see right there actually as they're coming out of turn 1 all the dirt that's been kicked up off the track there, all the marbles and everything that's been kind of moved out to the side as everybody's gone off track and continued on throughout this race.
That's why it's important to hit your marks on every corner, because that lane is going to be clean. You do not want to get into those marbles because it'll spin you around quickly, especially in one of these cars if you're in a low gear.
Short, trying to look to the inside of Fuller here. Gonna get side by side with him on the exit. Good exit for Xander. We'll have to fall back in line, maybe use a little bit of draft here on the run to turn 1. Will he look back to the inside? He does not.
Fuller's another guy that's lucky to still be running, because he was involved with that wreck with Wolfe where they both nosed it into the wall.
Yeah, and his car doesn't even look damaged at all, honestly. But Xander Short putting a lot of pressure right now on Nathan Fuller, last night's winner. Currently running in 9th and 10th right now. This is the battle for 9th.
Yeah, look who's worked his way back up into 6th spot, Carlisle.
Xander Short, big run out of the new section there. Gonna have a good look here into this hairpin. We'll get clear of Fuller. Kind of parks it on the exit, though. That's going to allow Fuller to get back to the outside. I wonder if Short kind of had a slowdown maybe and just parked it in front of the 9 car.
These guys are battling. I'm loving this. This was the fun I saw last night, was these guys just swapping positions, going back and forth. And I love watching guys race loose race cars, because you get to see more of the action. And these guys are working the steering wheel, and they're putting on a great show tonight. I'm loving it.
Yeah, and while we were watching that battle back for 9th, Stewart Harding Walker was passed by Zack Saunders for 2nd. So he might be, I don't know what his strategy is.
Walker must have come into the pits.
He is not yet. He's still on track.
Because I thought he was way ahead of Saunders. Or is Saunders just that fast with the new tires now?
It's definitely the new tires. So I believe the last time we checked in, they were only about 4 seconds split apart. And it was about...
Oh, okay. I thought it was more than that.
I believe it was only about 4 laps that we were kind of away from them. So, yeah, you kind of just see them pull away from each other on those fresh tires.
Yeah. Well, like I said, all Walker has to do is come in, get a splash of fuel, and he's got 3rd place locked up.
I wonder if he's even got that on his mind right now. He might not even be thinking about that. With he's not even making like any looks at trying to go down pit road here. So 13 to go now.
He could be thinking about Timbits at Timmy Who's right now, coming from British Columbia. I am so just. That was one of the best things about going to Vancouver, was they had Timmy Who's. Oh, I'm from New England. Dunkin' Donuts is king on the East Coast. I love me some Timmy Who's a lot better than Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh yeah, I don't really like Dunkin' Donuts, to be honest. I mean, I'll have a donut from there every now and then, but I definitely would go to another place over Dunkin' Donuts for sure.
Well, I'm retired law enforcement, so let me tell you this. Honeydew on the East Coast has better
Honeydew.
donuts than Dunkin' Donuts, but I think Dunkin' Donuts has better coffee than Honeydew. But either way, Timmy Who's just blows them out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, being a West Coast person, I think a lot of people would think I like Krispy Kreme, but I don't even really like Krispy Kreme that much either, to be honest. I mean, they do have pretty good donuts, I'm not gonna lie, but down in Texas we got a nice little local shop that I go to, and there's also another donut shop that's like right next to the place that I work at, and they got nice cheap donuts, and they're so good. I love having donuts, man.
There's always that myth about law enforcement officials loving donuts, and I can assure you it is true. We do love donuts. So right now, out front, Pataska just kind of pulling away again, up to 13
Oh, and there it
seconds
is.
already.
Harding Walker now down pit road here with 12 laps to go, so really late.
Yeah,
pit
now
road strategy.
he's got about a 20-second lead on Hoggan. So let's see if he just comes in and gets a splash of fuel. I'm sorry, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's the gap back from the
from
leader.
the leader.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I think he just got a splash of fuel and he's already coming back out.
Yep. So it's gonna be close between him and Thomas Wolfe. So I think he'll either be 4th or 5th here. Looks like right now he is in front of Wolfe, but this is gonna be a battle coming off pit road for that 29 car.
Yeah, he must have
gotta be careful not overshoot that corner.
He has cold tires. He did get 4 tires. No doubt he has 4 tires, especially the way he went through that corner.
It also could be the same set as well, maybe just hot tires as well. That could be another thing. Like, I mean, he was on pit road for maybe. I don't have that actually. I can't say.
I think he was on pit road for quite a bit of time there. I think. Whoa! You see Wolfe trying to set up the corner and almost loses it.
It's hard to tell. We weren't really watching him as he made his pit stop, but Wolfe going to get to the inside here now. Going to be the outside as they come to the double right. A little bit of contact, leaning on each other again. We saw them leaning on each other earlier. Wolfe back to the inside here.
And Walker goes. They both go way wide. Now it's a drag race. They're going to bounce off each other coming up the hill.
Through the triple right, more contact. They're still baiting. Oh my goodness. Can't even speak. There's just so much going on between these two right now. Thomas Wolfe staying in line behind the 29 as they go through turn 19 there, the Whataburger corner. Coming to turn 20 now here, that final corner on the track. 11 laps to go now here in Austin. It's picking up for 4th.
Next week is going to be a legendary video. I can see it already. This has been an exciting race. Now we're getting towards the end, 10 laps to go. These guys are starting to lean on each other really hard right now. You just saw it between Wolfe and Walker, and it's not done yet.
It is not.
I am interested if somebody in the chat or somewhere can find out whether or not Walker got tires. I was kind of watching other things, and I thought he was in the pits for a longer time.
It's kind of hard to tell, but with the way that Wolfe closes in, I wonder if Walker maybe got 2.
Oh, you see Wolfe right there getting a little bit loose.
Walker starting to use wider parts of the track.
Yeah, a lot more of the tracks. And there's one car there pulling off to let these guys by. Great run by both of these guys to come back. I think both of them had issues at some point during the race tonight. Oh.
Both of them going a little bit wide there out of traditional 15.
These guys are pushing it so hard right now. They're on the verge of breaking loose. The inside of these cars, you must be able to hear the tires squealing at least by now. And both of them just pushing it so hard. Everybody now, they've extended that lane way off into that grassy looking area right now, but I think that's kind of more like an AstroTurf. See these guys flying through each other through the chicane. Pataska just still running away from this thing right now.
See a battle between John Connor, Cameron Albertson. Big slide there out of the 97. Corey Mott going way off track in the background there. Collects himself though. Stays in front of that 60 of Zack Saunders, who's actually in second. These guys are a lap down currently.
Great run by Zack. He had a great run last night too, and just such bad luck. As you see the 14 car locking him up going into the corner there. At first I thought that his engine was blown.
Back up to the battle for fourth between Wolfe and Harding Walker. Wolfe tries to set up for a late exit, straighten that car out.
Walker his car is just a little tiny bit better off the corner there, and Wolfe just cannot get around him. This is a great battle by a couple of the Crown Jewel regulars.
Last time around, they were only about 0.7 of a second difference. Whoa! Jonathan Lager. A little bit of contact with both of those cars, I think. I know for sure Wolfe tagged him just a little bit. I couldn't tell if Harding Walker came into contact with him, but you see that damage on the 94. More damage on that front end now. 9 to go.
The Majors Cup Series has definitely stepped up its competition, and you're seeing a much better quality racing this year than last year. These guys are pushing each other harder and harder, and they have to. Now that they're running with guys like Hoggan and Pataska and Fuller, you know, some of these guys who have come in from majors and stuff, they have stepped up the game big time, and the Majors Cup is no longer just another series. It's a big series right now. This is huge. The racing has been unbelievable.
Cody Porter and Guy Spreck right now, side by side as they exit the stadium section. Here comes another one of those Hondas, Nashil Condor, into the picture as well.
I know I received a lot of hate because I called them Gritty Grocery Getters, so I guess you can't say that anymore.
This battle currently is for 13th is Cody Porter, 14th is the 48 of Guy Spreck, and 15th is Nashil Condor. See, Pataska is actually coming up on them right now.
Who was that just got way up on two wheels?
I did not see. I can try to go back there. Was it right in front of the 48, I believe?
It was one of the Hondas.
Oh, we'll see real quick. A little bit of investigation.
Right there. Yeah.
Into turn one. Oh yeah, the 48 just clipping that
48
curb a little too much. There is a little bit of a yellow curb there. It's not as big as the ones in the S's. Cody Porter getting around Mason Hoffner there.
Hit the curb again. Right now with 8 laps to go, Pataska just continuing to pull away from Saunders. There's not much Saunders can do right now, and Saunders has a pretty good lead on Hoggan. Now Wolfe is starting to close in just a tiny bit on Hoggan, but he's got a long way to go.
Yeah,
and right now he's going to worry about Walker.
Did get around Walker. Well, you know, they were leaning on each other earlier.
Yep.
Now that 94 in front of the 29. We'll see if Harding Walker has anything to say to this 94 now. Try to get back around him.
He's not going to let him go, that's for sure. So right now, Wolfe just needs to concentrate on the track, just try to race track, and just try to pull away from him. But as you see, Walker does not give up. Coming in on the inside, trying to get the position back.
That was close. Might have made contact there in the hairpin. They're still making contact.
Yeah, these guys are rubbing each other pretty hard. They better be careful because they're not going to finish the race if they take each other out.
Yeah, 7 to go. It's getting dicey. More contact again.
Yeah.
These guys are really using their cars. 8 wheels is better than 4.
Yeah, you see Wolfe just doing everything he can to try to get away from Walker, and it just isn't happening.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are trading lap times. What a battle.
Walker is like a bad penny. He just will not go away. And you see it right now.
Oh, more
Is he making a
contact.
little bit of contact there?
Really getting aggressive using those bumpers on the exits of these corners. Thomas Wolfe trying to make a run back, late crossover there from Harding Walker. Wolfe going to have the inside line here through 1. Side by side on the exit. Wolfe going to have the advantage. Harding Walker definitely not done yet, though. 7 laps to go here in Austin. Dallas Pataska still out front by about 20 seconds, but this battle for 4th right now.
Wolfe seems like he's giving himself a little bit of breathing room right there, starting to pull away from the 29 car. 29 is not going to give it up. These guys are battling so hard, and it's been about 3 laps. You know, it's not like 3 laps on an oval. There's a lot more corners. These guys are really beating up their tires, fighting each other.
Yeah, I think that section that they just went through there, Harding Walker is definitely better. But the second that they get out of the stadium section is once Wolfe definitely starts getting better. So I think he has, I would say, 19, 20 all the way through the S's. And then once we get to that new section of the track, that's when Harding Walker kind of has the faster car there. So these guys trading lap times, and it's a fun battle out there. But Wolfe now does have a little bit of breathing room.
One thing I notice about Wolfe is I don't see his front rotors getting hot, but I notice he has locked up his rear tire a couple of times. So I don't know where his brake bias is, but it seems to be keeping his front a little bit cool right now.
See a little bit of orangeness there as they
a little bit
go through 20, but not as bright as we were seeing it earlier.
Well, you see one car, somebody must have spun or something. A lot of smoke coming out of that corner, heading up towards turn 1 for
there
just
they are.
6 laps to go to call the end of this thing.
Yeah, we are coming to a close of this race. Only 9:45 right now, or 9:44 I should be exact. Central, so 10:44 on the East Coast and 7:44 on the West Coast right now.
Right about the same time as last night, a few laps. It has been a very good race to watch, both of these races, and watching them now at the end of this race, even though Pataska's kind of pulled away a little bit, you still have contact like these guys in the back. Corey Mott getting to the back of the 57, kind of shaking him up a little bit. And here comes the 23, not giving up from the 23 of Hoggan. Excuse me. I am getting all confused there.
Yeah, no, you're good. He is a fill-in driver for Cody Leach, so normally that would be Leach in that car, but decided to throw a road course ringer in, as I believe you only have to have 85% or 80% of the schedule completed, which is about 6 races that you can miss throughout the season. So making a little bit of a business decision there, putting Boyd in the car. We'll get him probably a 3rd here tonight if it stays this way.
Yeah, and I tell you, you owe me one, Cody Leach, because you're screwing me up tonight big time. And plus, he changed his number from the 15, so that screws me up even more.
Another battle on track. 5 to go now here in Coda.
Oh, man, a couple of guys in the back came close to wadding it up right there, going through the chicane area. Ooh. Not sure what car was that. Looking up towards the front again. Pataska, yep, he's still here, believe it or not. He's somewhere on the racetrack, but he's being chased down by Saunders. But, oh, there's another car going wide there. I think that was Legger just trying to get out of the way.
Possibly. Sometimes it's really hard to tell if somebody's either getting out of the way or if they're actually having a problem with the car. Just because of camera angles and stuff like that, and we don't really have the full context, especially when we're switching to a new battle. We see something like that. It's really hard to tell. But we've seen these guys be around each other all night. Noah Hamilton and Cameron Albertson right now. This is for 16th and 17th. See Zack Saunders 2nd place just in front of him.
But you see, he has a little bit of damage on the front of that car. It makes you wonder.
Oh, Hamilton way wide.
It makes you wonder if he's going to survive to the end. It was right around this time last night we started seeing cars go, but no, it is a different engine package, so
it is also more durable cars, so that is another thing as well. Albertson's the inside here, going to be the outside as they go to turn 2.
There is racing like this all over the track, but this is the only one that really matters. Whoa, for position. These guys are battling so hard. There's a great in-the-car shot right now. See these guys beating and banging everywhere on the track.
Albertson trying to set up a pass here on Hamilton. Coming up to a passing zone. You see Joe right there turn around on the straight.
We were talking about donuts earlier, the Krispy Kreme.
Doing a little bit of a donut himself. It's a little too early, Joe. Still got 4 laps left.
Oh, he cuts to the inside, just didn't have the momentum to keep going there.
Another Joe
He's
on
all over the
track
back
there.
of him.
That was Joe Gibbons.
I think he's got just a little bit better exit on the corners. I don't know if it's tire difference or what, but he's just good enough to stay in front of him.
Yeah, Albertson came down pit road on 57. Hamilton was last on pit road on 45, so he actually came down pit road early in stage 3.
Earlier.
Like really early in stage 3, so.
Yeah, there you see the back end of that car go way sideways, closes right in as they go into the corner. The one car's doing everything he can to get away. Oh, no! That's what happens.
Rotation.
You're in a low gear coming out of those corners, and it just will light up those tires. So difficult.
Yeah, that corner is also it's kind of a preference corner of what gear you want to be in. You can be in first or second in that gear, that corner. And I think it will give you different types of runs. Second definitely gives you more stability, but first can sometimes also give you that RPM that you need to get a better run off of that exit of turn 20 and on the run to turn 1. 3 to go now. Hamilton does have a little bit of more of a gap now over Albertson. So now Morales starting to creep in here for 17th.
Morales giving it everything he had. Great run tonight. You know, there's another driver that his finish doesn't show how well he performed. He was in the top 10 pretty much all night and doing everything he can to survive. And right there, just catches the 19 car at a horrible time and couldn't get it slowed up in time.
Now Corey Mott's going to be close on that 95. Definitely wasn't team orders, but kind of a coincidence that Corey was right there.
Yeah, I tell you another thing, it makes me worried about, again, the damage on the front of these cars with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, now 2 laps to go here in Circuit of the Americas. A lot of the field is starting to drop to these guys out front. I believe we have only 10 cars right now on the lead lap. We do. Zack Johnson. Zack Johnson is that first car a lap down in 11th. So Pataska, 2 laps to go. All he's got to do is just coast this thing around.
It really does. Just an incredible performance by him. Almost 27 seconds he's out front. You know, Major's Garage has given us some of the best drivers, and here's one of them right here. And he's proven that, you know, not only are these setups great, but so are the drivers. And if you want to come and join the Majors Garage Cup Series, look us up. We're very easy to find. What is it? Crown Jewel Racing Series. You can find us on Google, iRacing, anywhere. We're all over the place. Look it up. Come join us, and you can be a part of the Majors Garage family.
Yeah, and Pataska rounds 19 and 20 for the second to last times here tonight. Gonna get white flag, and he's gonna just have to drive this thing around the track one more time. I believe Thomas said last night premature victory lap for Nathan Fuller, and it's gonna be a repeat here for Dallas Pataska. So back-to-back nights for Majors Garage victories, it's gonna seem, unless something very crazy happens here on this final lap.
You know, you want to talk about a confident driver. I mean, he's not really letting up at all. He's got a 20-second lead, and his rhythm is so drilled into his head that he can't slow down. He's still running a pretty hot lap right now.
Yeah, we actually got a battle for 10th right now just in front of him. They'll have a full another lap to go around the track here and battle this out, as they are not a lap down. So this is going to be a fun one to watch as Pataska crosses the line. But you see him just behind them. Oh, Short locks it up right
Oh!
there. That might allow Fuller to have ninth for sure secured. Short just lost about 2 seconds on Fuller there.
And again, you're Pataska. Your eyes just got real big. You came into a corner, saw all that tire smoke. You don't want to blow it when you have a 26-second lead right now. And he's still getting a little sideways. He's still giving it the pedal.
I think he's just having a little fun, honestly. Maybe
Yeah,
just
probably
getting ready to do those burnouts. You see more smoke coming out of turn 20 there. Short having another problem. But Dallas Pataska comes across the line and takes home the checkered flag here at the EchoPark Texas Grand Prix. Looks like
Made
Zack
it look
Saunders
easy.
going to be coming through 19 and 20 here. He'll be second. Very good run here. Redemption night for that 60 car. And although he's not scoring points, definitely a confidence booster after last night's unfortunate circumstances.
Whoa, whoa!
Having a little fun himself as well.
Yeah, another great run from him. And again, horrible luck for him last night. But you know what? It matters here
See
a
Hoggan
little bit
there.
because this is
Third.
going to get him. This is going to get him a ride full time for next year if he wants it, without any doubt. And he's locked in for the playoffs already in Xfinity, so it kills him on playoff points. But he's going to recover. We have plenty of time.
Oh, Stewart Harding Walker going a little deep into the final corner for the final lap. But he'll finish 5th. Stephen Mankey, hell of a race from that 6 car. Up 28 spots tonight, our biggest mover. The 6 car will come home in 6th.
His car looks like he went through 12 rounds with Mike Tyson. The front of that thing is all beat up.
Ben Lawson will come home 7th. Looks like Carlisle just behind him in 8th. We saw a little bit earlier Fuller in 9th, and Xander Short will come home in 10th, and that's all the lead lap cars there. So we'll go
Great
back to
the
17 here and get ready to watch him do his victory celebrations.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's going to be a pretty big points shake-up tonight. This guy here in the 17, man, he's starting to run away a little bit with the points, just like he ran away from this race. So, the guys in second and third, not sure exactly where they finished, but I know Nick Vasquez had a horrible race tonight. He's back in, I think, like 20th position or 17th. He finished way back. He had some issues early in the race, and it took him out. But I'm not worried about the 22. He's going to be there in the playoffs as the 17 starts to burn it down.
Yeah, very, very clean race from Dallas Pataska. Only really one tiny incident there with Boyd Hoggan, which really only affected Hoggan, but he still recovered back up to 3rd there. So a good recovery drive from that 23, replacing Cody Leach. Looking at our results here tonight, see Pataska, Saunders, Hoggan at top 3. Wolfe and Harding Walker will round out the top 5. And you see a couple of factory entries of Minky and Lawson in 6th and 7th, Carlisle in 8th, Fuller and Short round out that top 10 as we went through earlier. And you see Zach Johnson, Cody Porter, Nick Vasquez from 11th to 13th. And just behind them, Guy Spreck, Condor, Hamilton, Albertson, and Morales all the way back to 18th.
It was my mistake. I thought I saw Vasquez back in like the 22nd position, but to finish 13th, he salvaged something. So pretty good for him. He's a lap down, but you know what? He's still going to be okay.
I think he will be pretty okay, to be honest. And a lot of these guys, honestly, coming out of this night, I don't think are going to be really in a terrible spot. We're only 3 races into this season.
That's right.
So it's, there's a lot of racing to go. We got 33 races left that are going to be points races. We obviously got the All-Star race coming up in a few months. But, yeah, let's go ahead and kick off our post-race interviews. What a race, man. I just... It's a road course, but just so much action out there tonight. And, it's crazy.
It's overstimulating. There was so much going on, you couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah,
and,
it's so much.
My voice is gone from the last 2 nights. My wife will be happy about that.
But yeah, let's go ahead and kick off our driver interviews with third place Boyd Hoggan, and let's see what he has to say about tonight's race. Hey there, Boyd. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, all right. It's starting to become a little bit of a frequency that we talk to you. Having a great season, filling in for a few drivers, filling in for Cody Leach tonight. Actually, had a great run tonight in third place. Wanted to start off this interview. Obviously, we're gonna address the elephant in the room. Wanted to ask you about that stage 2 restart first, then other than that, just ask you how the rest of the race went and how you were able to get yourself back up into third.
I mean, you call it a good race. I felt like complete shit about it, honestly. That sucked. Yeah, I don't know. I went with Dallas's master cylinders because he was working on it a little bit there last night, and I didn't get back on and start testing it really till a couple hours before the race, and they were a little more pinchy, like they grab a little quicker. So, no, we just passed my brake marker or my normal brake marker, and I realized it like as soon as it went under his car, and I saw it for a second because you got to brake like a car length before that patch of dirt, and that was the first time I've gone in behind anybody, so I didn't really have like a backup marker, and I just blew turn 1, hit Dallas. I'm glad he was okay. He worked pretty hard on it all week, and um, you know, wanted the 1-2 for us, but that didn't happen because I blew it as much as I could, and Zach honestly did a good job. He pulled the right strategy. I don't think he took tires there at the stop, and I could have probably used that. I was too tight at the end with all the damage, but at the end of the day, shot myself in the foot as many ways as I could, and glad Dallas still got it done. Thank you to Cody Leach for letting me pop in the 23. I hope it wasn't. Hope he's happy watching it, enjoying his vacation. So yeah, that part sucked for sure.
I tell you what, if you go back to the last year and you watch me finishing in third spot, I was happy as hell. You sound like you're bummed out here. You all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, 'cause I'd be
Yeah.
very happy with third place. And this beginning of the year, and you were one of the faster cars, and you still made one hell of a race out of it. And you guys from the Majors Garage, your setups just seem to be dominating so far this year.
Yeah. Well, Dallas and I are on the same non-setup shop kind of team together. Legacy Sports. We do most of the building, a lot of the building there. Alex Link helps out a lot with the truck stuff and wherever he can, and we got a couple real good guys over there working on stuff. But yeah, no, it was Majors, Reaper, Legacy. Like I was happy with what we brought. Dallas had something a little bit different. I was a little bit worried about it getting too tight still at the end, so I freed it up probably too much for the first run. I was just no drive off real early, and once it rubbered up, it started coming back to me. But by then, it was nose was killed, SM was killed, everything was killed. I ran Jim Mott over under yellow, trying to let him know we got to catch up to the back of the field. I didn't have a hotkey, Matt. It's honestly been a disaster. I need a drink. This sucks.
I'm sure a lot of
I
people
don't
are
like
saying
talking
that, to
on
be
it.
honest. But I got a few more questions for you before we let you go and go, I believe, prepare for Las Vegas in the Truck Series. I know for sure that you're a full-time truck driver. So that first question I wanted to ask you, obviously, returning to the Truck Series in a couple of weeks, being that your main points series, what are you going to be looking for in that series and just those races coming up?
I think there'll be. I hope that we get a little more spread out. I don't really expect Vegas to be that spread out just because we're probably going to be pretty wide open. It's a night race, so probably a little bit of a lottery there. Where we go after that? Martinsville. Martinsville should be cool.
I believe Martinsville.
Hopefully we don't. Yeah, hopefully we don't wad too much stuff up there, and we can get some long runs in. So I'd be looking forward to that. I get to make my first Xfinity start at Phoenix next week, and get to do do Cup again. I'm trying to do Cup full time as much as I can. Hopefully, get picked up by one of the chartered cars, and I can race in the playoffs or try to have a shot there. But we're 1 week at a time right now.
That's definitely a good way to take it, especially being a newcomer in the league, but putting yourself on a definite team watch right now for just being a very dominant car throughout the first 3 races in this season. But yeah, final question before we let you go. Wanted to just ask if you had anybody out there to give any thanks or any acknowledgments to that you kind of missed out there.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting on the show. Thanks to Corey for keeping me in the league after last week. Hopefully he's a little happier this week. I let him sit there and try working over 4 or 5 guys for position just because I had so many lap cars to get back up through. I didn't think I could get to Zach after that, so I was kind of just chilling there. Thanks to you, thanks to everybody at Legacy, Reaper Speed Lab, and Wifey for watching. We didn't get the win this week, but we'll get one.
Man, you just made the biggest mistake. Never tell me that your wife watches the race. Don't ever tell me that.
I squeeze her in as much as I can.
Well, you better go get her some Timmy Who's right now because you just blew it.
Yeah, honestly.
All right. Well, congratulations once again on your P3. I know you're definitely not happy about that result. Probably could have done a little bit better for sure, but it's still a great finish for yourself and a great finish for that 23 that you were filling in for. So we'll let you go and go prepare for Las Vegas and also Phoenix next week, as you said.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thanks again to Cody. Have a drink for me, maybe 7, please.
We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Well, Boyd Hoggan coming home in third. Definitely not. He's definitely not happy about that 3rd place for sure. I know for sure. Like I can hear it in his voice. He knows he had something more in that car and probably could have been competing with Pataska if he didn't have that big lockup in that 2nd stage.
And that that was a heartbreak. And you knew it wasn't on purpose. You knew it was an accident, but just that corner, I said at the beginning of the race, you're going to see a couple of guys go off, and we did. It's not an easy corner. You're going uphill, and then you're braking hard to make that left-hand turn. And if you watch an in-car camera, the course just goes up and down. It's just so difficult to get a good braking because your car is going up and down with the suspension as well. So the weight shifting, very difficult first turn.
It is. And when you see guys like him mess it up as well, guys that are experienced on road courses like this and just very good drivers overall messing up like that, anybody could do that. So it's definitely a very difficult turn 1 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost easier to land an F-18 on an aircraft carrier.
But let's go ahead and move on to our 2nd place finisher. Actually, another one of those guys that will not have any points from tonight. Zack Saunders finishing 2nd tonight. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say.
Hopefully we don't kick him out of his system.
Hey there, Zach. It's the boys up at the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
And he crashed. No.
No.
Yeah, but having a little fun about that from last night for sure. That's definitely going to be a thing that we talk about pretty much all season, I would say.
Yeah.
But great race for you tonight. Finishing in 2nd. Didn't really have anything for Dallas, honestly, tonight. I don't think anybody really did, to be honest. But great run tonight, redemption night from last night. Wanted to ask you how the car felt and what you thought maybe you could have done to run down that 17 car.
Nothing to run down the 17 car. Dude's way faster. Dude was 2 seconds a lap faster than I was in practice. And I was like, that's not happening. A really good race. Just kept it clean. I mean, that track's all about just nailing the corners and keeping the car clean, not trying to overdrive anything. So did a pretty good job on that. And yeah, definitely redemption from last night and last year. I got hosed over last year. Probably should have won that race, but it's whatever. Car, yeah, like 5 laps into the run, just anywhere you wanted to go, it went there. I mean, it was pretty well planted throughout the race. I didn't take tires. At the end, I only took fuel. That's why that gap did what it did. And I'm glad I did that because had I not, I'd be sitting or I'd be P3. So getting that 10-second gap and then catching that like 5th or like 20th to 15th, man, that was a struggle to get through. I knew boy was struggling a little bit to get through that. So luckily I had that gap and just played it smart to get past everyone cleanly. Didn't rush anything about that. And I don't to catch Dallas. I don't know, practice for 3 weeks straight. I don't know. I'm just not that good.
No, I mean, you're definitely a good road course driver. Dallas just definitely had everything, all the stops that he needed tonight for sure,
Yeah.
and he just kind of drove away from pretty much everybody tonight. Nobody really had a shot for him at all. Even last night's winner, Nathan Fuller, had nothing for him when he was lined up with Dallas. So if that says anything, that's I mean, but I mean, obviously just a great race for yourself, very clean race. Not having any points in the Cup Series though, so just kind of a race to run for yourself, just for fun.
Yep.
And
that's the main point.
You kind of answered also one of my questions as well. Actually, I was going to ask you about the tires in that last stage. I wanted to know if you took any, but answered
no,
my
I
question
didn't.
there. Yeah.
I figured out last night in the Xfinity race because I went from stage 1 till lap 55 on one set of tires, and so I was like, well, there's no tire wear, so I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
That's what I was wondering if that was still in iRacing. I knew that was a little minor bug that is kind of a thing where you can, if you know how to keep the tires, where they need to be, you can definitely just run them forever. But I was wondering if that was a thing tonight. And
when I came into pits, my tires that was the best my tires had been on a 20-lap run is when I pitted to take fuel. I didn't see what they were at the end. They was probably around 80, low 80s, high 70s, I would say, after dealing with the traffic and whatnot. So
after how many laps they were 80?
Oh, I'd say from into stage 2 till the end there.
In practice, after 7 laps, I was at 80.
That's a problem. I don't know how to help you with that.
You can't. You can't.
It's and it was weird. Practice, that car was just insanely loose in practice. And then quali, it tightened up a little bit. It wasn't too terrible to drive. I busted out one good lap, then didn't do another one because I knew I'd never get the chance to. And then during the race, I mean, you just watched it there in the first 2 laps. Basically everyone else, I would hope, because it was really bad on new tires. And then just, it was planted the rest of the way through. It's a pretty good setup once you got working.
Yeah, I'll throw it over to Bill here and see what he has to ask you.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to ask you about the tire situation. There's a few guys that we're not sure if they took tires towards the end, and you kind of just answered that question for us.
Yeah.
But, you had some troubles tonight towards the back of how difficult was it trying to get through traffic on this track?
I mean, it wasn't horrible until there at the end. And then it was just, we're 10 laps from finishing and whatnot. And that, like I said, that 20th to 15th area was, they was all right there. 15th to 20th was probably 5 seconds difference. They was all right there. So I took my time getting through that. I didn't want to mess up anyone's race. And other than that, it was, smooth sailing, just find a good spot to pass. There was quite a bit of passing opportunities here, so it wasn't, too terrible. You didn't have to wait too long. If you missed one, you could probably get them in the next one.
And which car was better, last night's car or tonight's car, as far as which car is better to race on this track?
We didn't even race them; they're trucks. Honestly, the trucks. I feel like the trucks are the best.
I agree with that.
If I'd had to rank it, I'd go trucks, Xfinity, Cup. The Cup car is just. It's like everyone said. It's a failed road racing car, and it's not really that good of an oval car. So I mean, at Coda, with it being so many flat corners and stuff, it's it really hampers it. But once we go to places like Watkins Glen and stuff, where there's some banking in the corner, it it Watkins Glen, it's probably I'd say the second best there. I really like Xfinity at Watkins Glen, but I'd say Cup's next.
Yep.
All
Awesome.
right. Well, before we let you go here tonight and go prepare for Phoenix next week in the Dash Series, I don't know if you're going to be running the Cup race next week as well, but I know for sure you'll be in the Dash race for sure. But before we let you go, do you have any final acknowledgments or any things that you want to give out?
Yeah, thanks to the you guys broadcasting and the those guys I raced with today, being clean and everything, being respectful, and thanks to Stu for the setup. It was pretty solid, and thanks to everyone else that did their part.
All right. Well, we'll possibly I'll see you on track on next Tuesday. So definitely gonna be a fun race for sure at Phoenix.
Yep.
But congratulations, kid.
Thank you.
So yeah, Zack Saunders in second. Definitely a redemption night for himself after last night's misfortune, which was all his fault, by the way.
Yeah, that was. I know Tommy Wolfe felt so bad, and it wasn't his fault. Just one of those things.
Yeah, we might have to take him to therapy after that. But let's go ahead and talk to our race winner tonight, Dallas Pataska, back-to-back race winner, I should say, and probably going to be for sure having a good gap on the rest of the field in points.
Yeah.
Hey there, Dallas. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
We are doing good. We are doing good. I'm sure you're doing very good as well. Had a very dominant car out here tonight. Wanted to ask you, first of all, just how much work did you put in coming into this week, and what did that kind of translate into this race? Obviously, I think everybody saw it, but what can you say in your words?
Yeah, we were plenty prepped. I'll put it like that. There wasn't a whole lot that we were gonna miss. There's definitely more time out there. I don't think there's people out there that could have beat me, but come here tonight, we had it all put together, come out with a win, so that's great. But yeah, we had plenty of prep coming in. We felt pretty good. This is a kind of combination that I genuinely enjoy quite a bit. So I'm always going to put in a lot of work anytime we take these cars onto something where we have to turn right or do something a little different. So it was a lot of fun. It was nice to get some good long runs in. Traffic was acceptable, I would say. It's never going to be easy, but we made it through, so that's the biggest thing. And here we are talking to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, just had a very clean race. Really, only one problem, and it wasn't even your fault. It was kind of just a miscommunication, I would say. I'm sure you guys have talked about that already, but yeah, just a very good race for yourself. And after Atlanta as well last week, getting that win there, and coming here with another win, now back-to-back wins heading to Phoenix next week. I wanted to ask you what that momentum is going to be carrying towards that track.
It's a good question. We're going to try and make the most of it. Phoenix is historically not a track I'm very good at. I like short tracks, but not that one. So we'll see. I'm just going to try and make it through that one. I know we got some races on the back end of Phoenix afterwards that are going to be pretty exciting. So really more so looking forward to some of those coming up. But Phoenix, getting away from super speedways, can't really complain. Kind of getting into the meat and potatoes of the season, so to speak. So we're going to try and make the most of the momentum we've built up, and just try and learn what we can as we start to build that playoff notebook.
Yeah, I think that's a very good mindset to have for sure. I'll give it over to Bill here and see what he has to say to you.
Hey, buddy, good to talk to you again. One quick question. Can you believe Hoggan told me that his wife watches our broadcast?
I can believe it. I can believe it. But, hey, he's got at least he's got one fan, right?
That's true.
It's like bringing a girlfriend to a bachelor party, man. We're going to use it against him now.
At least he's running well,
He is.
Could be worse if you're doing that in last.
That's true.
The last time we talked, you said you were looking forward to this track, and I guess you were right. I understand that you guys were working on different brake packages and everything else. when you come out here, do you start with a preset setup before you even get here, or do you just go cold turkey and kind of adjust it as you go?
It's a good question. It's a little bit of both. At this point, I have a lot of experience with the cars and the tracks. I've driven this track just hours and hours on end in multiple different series, so I kind of have an idea of what I want from the car and where I need to be. But no, I mean, just like I shouldn't say just like anyone, but I personally, I load into a session, iRacing fixed. Give yourself a baseline, and then just kind of work from there. And next thing you know, we're sitting here in victory lane.
Well, congratulations, another incredible performance. I think this is going to be a habit for you.
Hey, that's the idea, right? Fingers crossed.
Well, congratulations again, and just watch out. I understand you guys are getting some pretty good storms out there, so just be careful.
Hey, you got it. Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Majors Garage guys out there watching. We actually had Nathan Fuller in the field tonight filling in for a team. Did a great job, so I'm very proud of him. Also want to just say, majorsgarage.com, we can help you out. So whether it be Coda or Novel, we got you covered. So thank you guys. Glad to be here. Hopefully we're talking some more in the upcoming weeks.
I think we will be for sure, and I believe you'll for sure have a strong hold on the points lead. Leaving Coda here. I did have one final question actually, but it kind of did slip my mind, so I think we're just going to let you go and celebrate your win here tonight and go get ready for Phoenix. I know you said that it's not a best track for you, but hopefully we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
So Dallas Pataska comes home in victory lane 2 weeks in a row. I really did forget that question. It completely slipped my mind. I was going to ask him originally if he wanted to give any final shout outs and everything, but kind of got to it himself. So
yeah, well, when you've been in victory lane as many times as he has, you kind of know what you're doing.
You know the ropes.
Yeah, and I just want to say something. I don't know if he's still listening or not, but Dallas, you better not go into the center of town and put bubble bath into the fountain. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying that I've done it. I'm just saying you don't want to do that. So he'll know what I mean.
And I guess we'll go through the finals results one more time before we sign off tonight. Real quick before we go through the results, I guess we have a few upcoming races next week. Obviously on Tuesday and Wednesday we'll have our Dash and Cup races once again, but also returning next week on Sunday is going to be the ARCA Series also at Phoenix, so that's going to be a fun race to watch on Sunday night, so make sure you guys are tuned in there. March 9th, and we'll be on the Crown Jewel Race Network, so make sure to tune in for that. Thomas will be back up in the booth, I believe, with Bill, as he said.
Yep. For the ARCA Series, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun race for sure. Been a few weeks since Daytona, so I know those guys are definitely ready to go. I'm definitely ready to go in ARCA again. I love driving those cars for sure.
I do as well, and this is the last race of this car, isn't it?
I believe it will be. I don't think the Gen or the old ARCA car will be in iRacing after next week. I'm correct.
I think it won't just be Gen 6.
Yeah, it will just be a updated version of that Gen 6 car now, and that's what we'll transfer over to in the ARCA series. So the power reduced Gen 6 that we're using right now will be a thing of the past.
Yep. And I hate to see it go. All those cars in real life, all those cars now are what's known as the Grand National Series. You see them race at Tri-County, Hickory, Florence, all those areas in North and South Carolina, and every once in a while, you see some big name driver. Well, there is a big name driver that races all the time, Jeremy Mayfield, who is probably one of the nicest people you will ever meet at the racetrack. He runs that series for fun, and I'm really sad to see them go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun send-off race for sure at Phoenix, and also very very sad to see those cars go for sure, as he said. But going through our final results one more time for the night, you see Dallas Pataska, Zack Saunders, Boyd Hoggan, that top 3, Thomas Wolfe, Stewart, Harding, Walker in that top 5. Then a couple factory motorsports cars. They had some good nights. Ben Lawson had a lot of struggles with turn 20, but it didn't really affect him too much, able to stay inside that top 10 pretty much all night. So a good race for sure for him. Then you see Carlisle, Fuller, and Xander Short just behind them. Zach Johnson, Cody Porter, Nick Vasquez, rookie of Geisbrecht, Nishil Condor just behind him. Those are 2 Zandervolt cars. Actually, 3 Zandervolt cars in a row.
Yep.
That's Noah Hamilton just behind as well. Cameron Albertson falls to 17th. So after that spin, kind of unable to recover to where he was running before. But still a decent recovery from where he fell back to. I believe it was like 25th or something. So made up 8 spots from that spin. So not a bad recovery drive. You see Pete Morales just behind him. And then going through the rest of the field here, I believe we did not really talk about the rest of the field, but we definitely showed it on the screen. But you see Corey Mott 19th, Henry Kaloff 20th, John Connor 21st, Bellinger in 22nd, Garth Griswold 23rd, Mason Hoffner 24th, Ray Gill 25th. Then you see Tipton, Wright, Carroll, Jim Mott, and then Jonathan Lager will round out that top 30. Joe Gibbons filling in for the 16 tonight, 31st, Alan Phillips 32nd, Thomas Villano, Nick Baston, Noah Spalding, and Rodney Roberts back to 36th. So you see a couple of guys like Hollywood Motorsports guys in the back there. Alan Phillips you usually see kind of running up front on the ovals. Definitely had a struggle tonight here. We saw him running up in the top 10 earlier. Just I think he had a problem on that stage 2 restart.
You know, and the thing is you look at some of the names in the top 20, they
or stage 3, I should say, sorry.
They just didn't have the luck. And there are some cars that are back there that their finish is horrible. Not the best finish, but their race was a lot better than what their position shows. And a little bit of heartbreak in that top 20 tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys definitely did not have the nights that they wanted. And I think stage 3 really, the start of stage 3 for sure, really just threw a lot of the race in a just a crazy commotion there. But yeah, next week we'll have 3 nights of racing. We'll skip the truck series. I misspoke last week and said that the trucks were also going to be at Phoenix, but I realized that they only go there one time, and that's for the championship, which is kind of sad. I wish the trucks were at Phoenix as well, but we'll have 3 nights of racing next week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. And Bill should be up in the booth, I think, for all 3 of those races, I believe.
I will be. I better save my voice. Everybody at work is going to be happy with me not talking. Let me tell you that stuff. So, you know, my nickname is Bill the Masshole. Why? Well, my name is Bill. I'm from Massachusetts, and well, hang out with me for a while, and you'll figure it out.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I guess real quick before we fully sign off for the night, I'll talk about next week at Phoenix. I think that's going to be a very fun race to watch in the Cup Series for sure. Last year we saw just a crazy race in the first race for sure, but the championship race also being a full-length race at the end of the season, that's going to be something to watch for as well. That's obviously the deciding race of the season. So I think next week going to be a huge learning point for a lot of these guys in the Cup Series, and definitely something that they're going to have to be focused on for the end of the season. I believe in November is when that championship race is.
And the way that these cars handle the new Phoenix is not the greatest place in the world either. Turn 1 is a lot more difficult. Plus, you got to worry about the guys
cutting the
who's
apron.
going to cut the apron, who's not. So you know, there's a lot of room there for havoc. So we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, and short tracks kind of like that also race something like these road courses as well. You see heavy braking at those types of tracks. Obviously not the crazy turn combinations, but you get the heavy braking and that same sort of, you know, nose pitch down into the track and just close, tight racing for sure. So it's going to be very fun to watch next week at Phoenix. I'm definitely excited for it. But for tonight, it's been your boys up in the booth, Nathaniel Campbell and Bill Martin. And we'll be signing out from Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. We'll see y'all next week in Phoenix.
See ya.